Right, I do believe I am now live, hopefully at least. Let me just see. Yep, the Discord notification's gone out. 1 second, everybody. I've kind of jumped straight into streaming after that premiere, so I'm just getting all the technical stuff sorted out. If you will just give me a second to make sure this isn't going to be completely scuffed. How is everyone doing today? How is everyone doing? Let me just make sure I've got chat up on the stream for you. There you are, there you are. Perfect. Morning. Hello, JP. Hello, David. Hello, Voltage. Hello, Sin. Hello, Jared. Hello, everyone. Glad to have you here. Just got finished with the premiere of my very, very big video project, which after the stream I would ask that you kindly go and watch because I spent a lot of time on that. Anyways, let me just get everything set up. Morning, Australia. Morning, Robert. Morning, Canuck. Or I guess afternoon. I don't know for Ohio. Hi, Rog. The DD2 video was great too. Thank you, Voltage. I'm glad people enjoyed it. Good morning, or good evening, boss. Hello. Hi, Billy. Good to have you here. Vanitas as well. I think I'm seeing some new names today. AJ as well. Hello. Let me know if this is your first stream, because I'm, again, seeing some names that I do not recognize. 1 second, everyone. I'm just going to do something very quickly. A little bit of shameless self-promotion, because as I said, I did premiere a new video today that I have done a lot of work on, and I deliberately made it so that it did not get published to subscribers, because unfortunately YouTube works in weird ways that I can't really explain. So what I will do is I will have it in the chat as a pinned comment, so that if you feel like you want to go and watch it, you may do so later, but for now, we're just going to get on with the stream as normal, and I can stop shilling myself. Right, shilling. Chilling is what I said, with an L. Anyways, let me get some music going in the background. I decided to opt for some Witcher today, because I don't believe I've done that on stream before. I can't possibly remember, but that'll do the trick. Right, let's get into it. So, today... Wait, I've lost chat. How have I lost chat? Where's chat? There you guys are. I forgot to make it always on top. There we go. There we go. I am very existing right now. Had a bottle of homemade beer and I still... and the effects still haven't worn off. Oh, so what's the god today? I don't know. I mean, you can see in the description of the stream all of the deities that have already been covered, and I'm pretty sure, as far as selectable in-game deities go, we're nearly there. We're pretty much nearly done, because we've done Bahamut. So there's Bane, which isn't selectable, neither is Bull, but they will be part of the series, maybe towards the end. There's Cyric. So we haven't done Garl. I know we haven't done Garl yet. In fact, I'll just get the poll up now, because we all know there's going to be a poll. Hold on. Poll. Oh, it's straw poll, isn't it? I could actually type today. There we go. Ignore this. This is a different thing. I don't know why that's showing up. Hi, Mine, good to have you here. I've been reliving every important Star Wars battle in Star Wars Battlefront 2. I bought the newer Star Wars Battlefront 2 for like $5 the other day, and I've got the original classic too, because I used to play the classic on like the PlayStation Portable. But yeah. Anyways. Yeah, I have to listen to Sin. What's Sin talking about? You have to listen to me, Hobo. It's my dog's 12th birthday. Well, congratulations. My dog is nearly 12 as well. Are you planning on me remastering Lolth? Maybe. Everyone keeps telling me that I need to put in druid levels to turn into a spider, but I think it would be pointless, because you'd just be a spider for 2 seconds, get slapped by a wet leaf, and then not be a spider anymore. But anyway. Maybe, I don't know. The ones I did kind of label in the description, like, of this stream, what I'm considering remastering, and the main ones at the moment are Talos and Tiamat, because Talos was not good, in terms of the lore, relevancy, and the Fang of Tiamat doesn't have the level of cleric, so I want to rework that in somehow. But I don't know yet. Hello, Neas, good to have you here. I hope I pronounced that right. Neas Gaming. I just realized since it's May the 4th, I might make a Jedi or Sith build. I did do the Grey Jedi a while back. A wet leaf is always my weapon of choice against spiders. I mean, I guess it's one thing, right? Goal. Glitter Gold. Yeah, so he's one of the selectable ones we haven't done yet. Let's keep looking. We did Gruumsh. Did we do Helm? No, we never did Helm. I know we never did Helm, so we're gonna put Helm in there. But yeah, as far as the selectable ones goes, we're probably gonna get this finished up today. I'm gonna put an imagine in general chat of the Discord about dog years. Want to know what 12 translates for yours dogs? Oh, okay. Let's see. I don't think there's any... Oh, yeah, there's Jurgle as well. We could do something for Jurgle, maybe, once the selectable deities are done. Mistra, I haven't done one for yet. Surprisingly, I'm surprised she's one of the later ones. Ohgma we've done, Selune we've done, Shah we've done. Sylvanas cannot be selected. Shah I have technically done, but I'll probably do a more dedicated video. I've done Tempus. Yes, I have. The Sentinel of Tempus. I have done Tempus. Talos. Tiamat, we've done. Tymora. We did do Tymora, because that was the cooking build. Tyr is the other one that has not been done yet. And I think that's it. There's 4 left. Unless I'm mistaken. I actually use a flaccid shoe. Why flaccid? That is very, very specific. I would like to see a Dragonborn Cleric for Tiamat. Yeah, well, that's the thing. The original one was a, like, Fiend, Warlock, Draconic Sorcerer. So it was like a Soullock, but I didn't put the Cleric level in at that point because that wasn't, like, a part of the series. Like, the older Deity builds have some weird things about them, which is why I might go back and remaster a couple of them, but they're not, like, at the top of my priority list at the moment. We've done Kelemvor. We did do Kelemvor. We've done a Doom Guide build. Have we done Tyr? Nope. Tyr's the only one we haven't done. Katosh. I might get into Skyrim stuff one day. I remember if you do Mistra, they need a beard. Remind me why? Your friend made a GIF Yankee Paladin of Tyr. Interesting. Placid is your favorite adjective. God damn it. Anyways. Tyr is from the North Mythos. Yeah, I like that this game, that D&D kind of incorporates the other kind of pantheons of, like, various mythologies into it. But anyways, I'll get the poll going now, so we can start getting on with it. Let's see, so we will share that. And then off to the races we do go. Boom, there it is. Start voting. Wizards is why you need the beard and the pointy hat for a Mistra build. Fair enough. I prefer to use my shoe. I prefer my shoes stiff. No, we're not using the other word, Sin. Well, Garl is currently leading, but Mistra has just tied it. Helm and Tyr are tied for 2 in the bank. Looks like Mistra might be the winner today. Either or, we're probably going to get through all of these today, especially kind of keeping the, like, efficient manner that we have been using, where I kind of come up with the, like, finer details of the build on my own time off stream, and we just kind of figure out the general leveling scheme, or any very specific equipment that would be important. Stop. No, don't. Yeah, I mean, yes, that is the word he was going to use, but... Hi, Ilya, good to have you here. Let me just make sure that everything is good with the stream, just while people are kind of voting. Figure out the rest from there. And we'll see what the poll results are in a minute. Okay. Right, let's see what the results are. So, if everyone has voted, I will put the straw poll back in again, just in case anybody has not had the chance to vote yet. But it's looking like Mistra is pretty handedly going to take it. Again, we will get to all of these. In fact, instead of doing multiple votes, I might just do the builds in the order that they have kind of been selected. I think that would make sense overall, because again, we're going to get to all of them, so rather than having multiple polls, we might as well just do these in the order that they've been voted for. So we'll do Mistra, Garl, Helm, and then Tyr. Sound good? I think that makes the most sense. I mean, Mistra is very, very easily taking the votes right now. So I think we're going to go for that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go for Mistra, Garl, Helm, and Tyr. I will just put that into my notebook really quickly. Erect shoes. Definitely a new one. Definitely a new one for me. Right, Mistra. Garl. Glitter, gold. Depending on how quickly we get through all of this, we might be able to go on to some non-selectable deities as well. Such as Dead 3, Jurgle, Cyric, those kinds of guys. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling, as this might be a slightly shorter stream today, as we're starting a little bit later anyway, just because of all the other stuff that was going on today as far as the videos and such were concerned, so we'll see. So Mr. Garl, Helm, and Tyr in that order. Maybe that could be another stream. Maybe that would be better than trying to fit them all into one. Okay, let's see. Hello, Gordo. Hello, David. Hello, Joshua. Hello, everyone. I mean, there's both hard and soft-soled shoes. Yes, but that's what you say. You say hard and soft-soled. You don't say flaccid and erect, do you? Right. So, let's get into it then with the builds in said order. So, Mistra comes up first. I'm going to do a bit of reading. I mean, Mistra is definitely probably one of the ones I'm more familiar with, just from... what do you call it? Baldur's Gate alone. But we'll see. We'll see what I can pull from the webpage to give us a more interesting idea. Gang of flaccid shoes. Oh, no. That's going to be the thing all stream, isn't it? Erect isn't banned purely because of it being a verb. Yeah, I know. Just be careful, because if all the stream is erect, YouTube might look at me with a cocked eyebrow, a la The Rock. Anyways, Mistra was a greater goddess of the Faerunian pantheon. That is a bit interesting, and the second incarnation of the goddess of magic after her predecessor Mistral sacrificed herself to protect the weave from Karsus' folly. Yet we know all of this from the actual game. The mother of all magic, she was destroyed by Helm. Interesting. When she defied the will of Au and the Overgod and attempted to leave the prime material plane during the time of troubles. At the conclusion of the Gods' War, Au offered the position of goddess of magic to the wizard Midnight, who reluctantly accepted and took Mistra's name in order to smooth the transition after so much chaos. So wait, is the Mistra we encounter in Baldur's Gate 3 the original? Or this new person who took over? What did you tune into? Hi, Samochi. Don't ask. Oh, I'm going to mispronounce this. Quellium? Hi, Quellium. Is that a Final Fantasy reference? I don't know. Of all the Dead 3 could be for a later stream itself. Yeah, we might do the final selectable deities today, and then do the non-selectable ones in another stream, because that spaces out the streams then. We've also got to do the a bit more organization for like the 8-player chaos stream. I think we've got 5 people out of the total 8. It's being organized in the Discord if anybody wants to join in for that. So yeah, are we with the new Mistra? I guess? I don't know. Here come the Spell Plague books. I've heard things about the Spell Plague, and it seems to be quite a divisive topic among the community. Hi, Bucky. I'm stopping by to say hi and then leaving to get married this afternoon. Oh my goodness. Wait, is that... Well, Bucky, congratulations on your marriage. I mean, thank you for taking the time to stop by on such an important day. My goodness. No, genuinely, have an amazing day. It's going to be one of the most important days of your life. I mean, hopefully. So, yeah, I mean, best of luck to you. Happy future for you. Honestly, I hope so. Congratulations. That's brilliant. Oh, that's a hell of a thing to see today. Oh, that's awesome. That's good. That's just made me happy by osmosis. That's amazing. Anyways, I'll get back to the stream, but again, that's really cool. Really happy for you. Right, let's see. That's kind of the Mistra, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we don't need to read about that. Eldritch Knight Staff of the Mumbling Wizard, dual wielding with a sword that uses the casting modifier, or a wizard support blessed staff build. Well, I was almost thinking for Mistra, because I kind of have an older build that I always thought would work for Mistra. Let me pull it up, hold on. I think it's this one. If it's not this one, it's a different one. It's either, yeah, I know, it's the Mystic Theurge, I think. You won't be able to hear me because I'm
video,
very quiet.
and this is another build request. Now, this is going to be a Mystic Theurge?
I think it was this
I don't know
one.
how to say it, but we're starting Sorcerer. Look, I know we dumped Charisma.
It's one of my older videos, so the commentary is awful, but yeah, because I think for this one, I went with a level 1 Sorcerer, yeah, and then I went Cleric, and then Abjuration Wizard, and I chose Mystra kind of as the thingy. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, something, I was almost thinking of something along these lines, because the whole thing was like Abjuration Wizard mixed with Sanctuary, makes for a very, very powerful kind of combination. And you can see I've kind of got like some equipment here, but I don't know. We will have to see. It's maybe something along those lines, but I don't know. And we've gone straight from that marriage announcement to back to erect shoes. Aye. A lot of the D&D community has hate for all of the things they introduced in 4th edition. Ah, okay. Hi, Trophy, good to have you here. We're building Mystra first, and then it's going to be Garl, Helm, and then Tia, and then that's it for all the selectable deities. We're going to get them done today. Also, I think for the Chaos stream, we're doing a test run at some point. Yes, that's true. I think we have 6 right now, and I don't know what time we decided for, but I'm best for 9 PM Australian time, I think that says. And also, yes, we hate 4th edition. Yeah, so the plan is we're going to kind of do a test for that. I don't know if it's going to actually be a stream. It probably won't be, just because the litany of technical issues that could possibly come up might make that not very good to watch. So we'll do a test off stream, and then once we've got enough people and we know it works, we will do the big 8-player Chaos stream and have a ton of fun with it. Hello, the Nim. Mystra is also relevant to the stars, though. I don't know if that's relevant. Well, I suppose we could weave it into the build somehow. Because we've got, you know, the god of the sun, Lathandar, we've done the god of, like, the moon, like, Selune, so we can find a way to kind of fit the stars in with Mystra, and we're definitely going to be using wizard levels, there's no way we're not, it's just how much of wizard we're going to be using. That's the question. I feel like something with Enchanter could be cool for Mystra. Let's have a look at Enchanter real quick. I'll get back to reading about Mystra herself in a minute. Just to see if I can pull anything out of the page, but I do want to have a look at the Enchanter class, because it's one that I've not really paid a lot of attention to, like with a lot of the wizard subclasses. But let's have a look at Enchantment. Hypnotic Gaze. Once per long rest, use an action. Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, it's this one. Yeah. The one that allows you to inflict Charmed. As a reaction, charm an enemy that attacks you. They must succeed a wisdom saving throw, or attack a new target. And then split enchantment, you know your enchantment is inside out, you can target 2 creatures with enchantment spells that would normally only target 1. Maybe. We'll see. We'll have to read more and see if it fits in nicely. In fact, what is her domains? It's probably Arcana, right? Bards, wizards, and seekers of arcane lore, mostly human. So it's a bit similar to Ohgma in that regard. Where is the thingy? Where's the thingy that says her domain? Hang on. Unless I'm stupid, something's missing. She doesn't have a domain. Which is very strange. What about a Volo type with the anchor? Yeah, maybe we could make like another weave anchor similar to Volo. In fact, I'm probably gonna name the build that and kind of go with that for the lore. I think that makes the most sense. The weave anchor. Yeah, that makes sense to go for something like that. Good pointing that out. Isn't Volo a wizard with the performer feat? No, Volo isn't like an anything. He doesn't have any like actual abilities. He's just like a typical storytelling bard. But he doesn't actually have like any powers, I don't think. He's just an unwilling kind of participant in Mystra's kind of ploy to keep the weave in check. He's not he doesn't know that though. Sorry, there's been a lot of comments. Let me scroll through them. Enchantment is kind of crap. I mean, I don't know. It has its uses. When I did it for the Loki build way back, it actually turned out to be pretty strong. But we'll have to see what is the most appropriate lore-wise. Isn't Volo lore-wise a secret chosen of Mystra? Technically, yes. He's a weave anchor, like I said, which is basically select individuals that are basically given like portions of Mystra's power that they can't actually use in most cases, especially in Volo's case, but they can what do you call it? They're basically there to like just be part of the weave and keep it from exploding, like what happened with Karsus. She's knowledge and arcane. Yeah, for some reason, it's not coming up here. Unless I'm stupid, like there is no domain listed on the page, which is weird. But if she's knowledge and, well, I mean, we have knowledge in the game. Unfortunately, we don't have arcana, but I can absolutely work with knowledge for sure. We're not going to call him a wanker, Sin. Oh, yes, I get it. Weave anchors, a short form wanker. No. Enchantment is a control caster, and Volo, in all appearances, is a level 1 wizard. Really? He doesn't use any magic in-game, though, so I wasn't too sure. You need to look up Mistra Midnight in order to get the domains. Okay, let's head over to here. Okay, that makes a bit more sense. That doesn't look like the person we see in Baldur's Gate, though, but they may have just taken their own liberty with it. Power level, God. Alignment, neutral, good. Symbol, Circle of the 7 stars. 9 stars encircling a flowing red mist, or a single star, Arcana, and Knowledge. There we go. Thank you. We'll read both of these, but I'll get into the OG Mistra first, because this looks more like the one we know from the game. So I think in Baldur's Gate 3, we're dealing with this Mistra, not this one. At least that's just my guess. I could be wrong. Let's see. Abilities. Lady of Spells can cast any spell ever known at the maximum level, 1 offensive and 1 defensive spell per minute. The only exceptions to this were if she were to cast Wish, Time Stop, Alter Reality, or Gate, which required enough concentration, but no other spell could be cast in combination. So we're definitely going to be playing a wizard, and we want access to as many spells as we can possibly get. Wizard gets most of them, aside from some that are exclusive to like Druid and Ranger, for example. Maybe some bardic ones, but otherwise the wizards do get all of them. Okay. So what does Knowledge Cleric do? Well, I went over it in my last deity build, which was the Ohgma build, but basically Knowledge Cleric, if we have a quick look, I know I'm kind of bouncing back and forth between things, but that's just kind of how these streams work. So Knowledge Cleric has the big thing of basically just being very knowledgeable, hence the name. You gain proficiency in a bunch of skills, including expertise as well. You gain command and sleep. You gain knowledge of the ages, which gives you proficiency in all skills of a chosen ability until your next long rest. So basically the same as the Githyanki racial ability. And then from there you get kind of like control spells. So calm emotions, hold person, slow, speak with dead. You gain the ability to read thoughts as a channel divinity action. Unfortunately, kind of once you get past level 2, especially if we're going to be multiclassing with Wizard, it doesn't do a lot for us. We can get some decent things, like a potent spell casting, which would add our Wisdom modifier, but I don't feel like we're going to be going to level 8 in Cleric. And then at the end you get some decent stuff like Dominate Person and Telekinesis, but otherwise, level 2 is about as far as you want to go in Knowledge. Mistra was dead until like 10 years before the events of Baldur's Gate 3. Interesting. Hello, I'm guessing that's Aetherwolf. Hello, I'm on my Druid run for the first time. I was wondering, are Druids really powerful lore-wise? I'm new to D&D lore and really love it. I'm fairly new to D&D lore as well. I mean, there are definitely some powerful Druids that exist, and Druids, when they do go kind of uber crazy, can get really strong, because they basically just control the very thing you're walking on. So they can be quite strong. I mean, Sylvanas would be a good one to look at there. Yeah, she kind of came back. Yeah, so she died because of the Spell Plague, but then she got better. Wizard 10, Knowledge Cleric 2, subclass, I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Level 2 of this, and then level 10 of Wizard could work. But I feel like I kind of want to get more somehow. And again, the school would be the important thing, because again, any of these could technically make sense. I do personally think that Abjuration would be the best way to go, though. Because Abjuration, we get the Arcane Ward, which would give us this like really powerful feeling force field that at level 6 would project to all of our party members, and we could constantly keep it up. Using Sanctuary, because you fuel the Arcane Ward with Abjuration spells, and Sanctuary is just the best Abjuration spell. So if we have a look at the Abjuration spell list, there's a few. There's Armor of Agathis, which we could pick up. There's Sanctuary, Shield is another one, which is also really, really good. These two, I'd say, were kind of tied for being the best Abjuration spells. And then the rest are kind of just okay. Counterspell is another good one. Glyph of Warding, Death Ward, Freedom of Movement. There's a few here. Banishing Smite, but we won't be getting that, I'm fairly certain. So yeah, there is a few. It looks like this could be mainly a utility/support build, for the most part. Playable Volo? Maybe. I don't know if I really want to make this character based on someone who's already in the game, though. Because again, you'd be like, oh, look at me, I'm Volo, but I actually learned how to use my magic powers that I've been kind of given for free, and then you meet actual Volo, and it's just like, well... That's the immersion broken. I don't know. I mean, do sorcerers worship Mystra as well to get stronger? Well, let's get back to this, because we kind of got a bit off track. Long story short, bards, wizards, seekers of arcane lore, mostly humans. So basically, if you're a sorcerer seeking arcane lore, then yeah, you absolutely could. But I feel like wizard makes more sense, especially when you can get more spells that way. I don't know. Banishment is good as well. Yeah, banishment is good, but definitely the core of the strategy would be around things like shield and sanctuary, for sure. Maybe armor of Agathis as well. We could kind of make it almost like a don't attack me build, because again, between Arcane Mord, reducing damage, and like Armor of Agathis giving us temporary HP and a retaliation, we could go for something like that. But I'm going to keep reading the page to kind of see. Could also be a Gale build. Yeah, it could absolutely be a Gale build, and I'll probably specify that in the video if people actually want to use Gale for that. And I mean, I guess I could use Gale for the video. I mean, I could say it's like, oh, it's like another Origin build as well as a Deity build. You know what, actually, I think I will do that. Maybe I will just use Gale. I'll pop it in my notes. Because I think, yeah, you know what, that would make sense, actually. Makes sense from a YouTube perspective as well, since Gale is a popular character, and Mystra is actually one of the deities featured primarily in the game, so it would garner a lot more interest. So yeah, I'll go with I'll actually make this a Gale build. Gale chosen a Mystra build. Yeah, I think we will do that, Trophy. I think that does make sense. What's this, boss? Hold up. I'd do half drow for the whole sharing a chosen with Eilistraee for this. That is a real thing, and it applies to both versions of Mystra. Really? I'll have to read into that. I mean, not typically with Silk, but explaining natural abilities being a boon given to them makes sense. As a chosen of Mystra could make sense. Yeah, no, that does make sense as well. We would just have to decide. But my thing is, and this is actually where I think this is an interesting distinction between wizard and sorcerer thematically. Because if we look at the wizard subclasses, right, they're all about the actual schools of magic themselves. We have transmutation, necromancy, illusion of evocation. All of these are actually deeply connected to a single type of magic, which unfortunately does suck for the idea of making a Mystra build who would realistically have access to all of these in some shape or form, but we are going to have to pick and choose. Wizard itself is actually more about magic itself, and the learning about it, and like the different schools and all that, whereas Sorcerer, thematically, is about just using magic, which is hard to explain in words, but you kind of see what I mean right away, because we only have 3 subclasses: Wild Magic, Draconic Bloodline, and Storm Sorcery. Draconic Bloodline is just meant to be the elemental caster, not mainly focusing on evocation spells and just kind of being like, here is your elemental spells, and here is your connection to half of the game's namesake, dragons from Dungeons & Dragons. And you don't really get any abilities that augment those things in unique ways, it's just more damage. Wild Magic is cool, but I don't feel, and again, with the Wild Magic surges and all that, but again, it's just about using magic kind of out of your control, and I don't think it would fit this build. And then Storm Sorcery focuses too much on a single idea, that being like the whole lightning and thunder ordeal, which again, is probably the closest. This is probably what I would go for if we were going for a Mystra build with Sorcerer, but it just feels too centralized on the Storm theme, whereas we have deities related to Storm. So I just feel like Wizard makes more sense in that regard. Yeah. I like what Boss said earlier, Divination Wizard 10 with Knowledge Cleric 2. Yeah. Yeah, and that's the big distinction. Born with power versus studying for power, that's right. And I feel like it's an important distinction to make when talking about Mystra specifically, because again, if she is someone who has domain over all magic, then it makes sense to use levels in a class that can be more versatile with all forms of magic, rather than Sorcerer, which is only going to focus on one specific aspect of it for the most part. And don't get me wrong, meta magic would be really nice, and I haven't done a proper Sorcerer build in a while, but I think Wizard just makes more sense, in my personal opinion. If I recall correctly, Eilistraee was also kind of dead until the last 10 years before BG3, but survived thanks to Mystra. Okay. I Spy a Dirge? Yeah, that's from the Storm Sorcerer page, because he starts with that. Yeah, there's not really a wrong answer here, but I think I've made my case in the idea that, like, I think Wizard's better. Especially if we're going to be mixing it with Cleric as well. It just feels more mystical to me. Hence the name Mystra. Necromancy would be an interesting choice, as one of her chosen is a Draco Lich, if memory serves. Man, this goddess. She's just like, oh yeah, I'm going to make this random bard my chosen, and I'm also going to make this draconic lich my chosen. Like, girl. Like, pick a theme. Also be sure to check the existing chosen of Mystra. Yes, thank you. There was a page on that. I'm going to keep looking through here. First Magister, what's that? Yeah. Mistress Chosen, here we go. The main article for Chosen of Mystra. Let's actually have a look at this. That's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, we know Elminster. We know Elminster. He is big, powerful magic man. Elminster's most notable feature was his hawk-like nose, which distinguished him since youth. Okay, perfect. Yeah, we know Elminster. He had devoted his life to the Mystrian faith and began his wizardly studies. The young Elminster possessed the innate ability to heal himself and detect magical auras at will. Well, that immediately says that the cleric levels are going to be right at home then, at least in my at least from my point of view. He was exceptionally intelligent, gave him multiple castings of the Wish spell. He was also blessed with an eidetic memory that allowed him to recall information from years past. Interesting. Really? Okay. Skills. His singing voice was tone deaf, despite a rather nice spooky baritone quality. He was also known to be a poor musician. So he's basically like the opposite of Volo then. Pretty much. Who else do we have here? Azov, that was the one who was mentioned. Got this. He's a lesser deity of arcane magic. There's so much here. I mean, we could be reading the wiki all day. He could cast Wish multiple times. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Calling the Raven Queen. Yes, Mr. chose a Draco Lich as her chosen. Jeez. I definitely feel like they would be 2 Knowledge Cleric, 10 Wizard, or Lore Bard, since Bards were also mentioned being among her worshippers. Yeah, but Ohgma was the Bard build. Like, I literally just uploaded that yesterday. I don't want to do a Bard again. I think this one should be... Like, I feel like when we're talking about this build, it should just be, like, as close to, like, a stereotypical, traditional, like, kind of wizard, like, Elminster that you can get, right? At least in my opinion. Worshippers, the Church of Azoth. Yep. Let's have a look at this. Among the highest order of Azoth's followers, a group of arcane paragons known as the Favor. They herald magical development, furthering the channel of the weave by formulating arcane processes, a process viewed as the apex of magical science among the faithful. The Church of Azoth were widely viewed as archaic in their tradition. Yeah. Okay, so there's nothing too crazy here. Okay. Who else? Gale Takaros. I mean, we already know all about this man. And I guess, yeah, he is a direct chosen of Mystra in his own way. And I think it makes sense that for, like, the actual video itself, it's just the fact that Gale has kind of, like, gone down the path of good, right? I think that makes sense. Let's see. Is there any other specific people I should be looking into? Elminster is just him. Yes, Froggo, that's just true. Was Azoth Mordecai in a past life? Did he pretend that airplanes were shooting stars? Oh my god. I started reading that. That's like getting pulled into a D's nuts joke, okay? Like, I was like, oh, Mordecai, yes, that sounds like a character, but you're talking about the bloody bird. I haven't even seen Regular Show, if that's even what he's from. Wait, Mystra actually did that gender change to Elminster? Wait, what? Did I miss something? Did I miss something? Oh, here's chosen powers. Here we go. As one of Mistress Chosen, Elminster was granted numerous spell-like abilities, including resistances and immunities to a myriad of spells. He also had the ability to wield the goddess's silver fire and channel spellfire, pure raw energy taken from the weave itself. Yes, Hobo, right show? Okay. The Nim's comment? Hold on, I've missed a few people. Oh, here we go. Also, Mr. turned Elminster into a woman once. She's quite chaotic for a neutral good deity. Oh, okay. Is that why that mod exists? You know the one. Yeah, alright, Ben. I did get it. Hold on. I'm gonna regret sharing this on stream because you guys will never let me live it down, but it's literally, I'm not even kidding, one of the most popular mods. Hold on. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Elmin. Okay, maybe not one of the most popular, but... Okay, that's it. We're not looking at that anymore. Oh, no. Okay, back on track, because this has already gone completely off the rails. Elminster was seldom one to travel without his staff, large pointed hat. Oh, yeah. So this is just kind of regular stuff. So I think at the end of the day, I'm liking Abjuration, Knowledge Cleric, kind of just leaning into the wizard angle, get the pointy hat, probably use Gale, like, and just kind of have him looking like a younger Elminster, kind of like Elminster is the future of Gale in a weird way. Something along those lines. No, we're not doing this, Ben. We're past the shoes. I don't know if that's cursed or not. Can I... That is very cursed. Hopefully the Discord gods decided not to smite the VOD. I check for Seven Sisters. Who are the Seven Sisters? Could you guys point me in that direction? Is it right in front of me? Or am I stupid? Seven Sisters. Is that something I'd find on this wiki? The Seven Sisters. Is it this one? The Seven Sisters were 7 immortal women, all chosen of Mystra and daughters of the goddess Mystra. They were all spellcasters born to the ranger Dornal Silverhand and his wife Elu Silverhand, who Mystra possessed to give birth to the children. Well, that's kind of fucked. Anestra Selune, okay, was commonly known as Selune, a kindly witch of the Shadowdale who was slain by a red dragon but remained in favouring as a ghostly spectral harpist. She was destroyed later by the actions of the Church of Shar. The regal but unashamed Lady of Silvery Moon, founder of the Nation of the Silver Marches. Dove Falconhand, whose magic was second to her skill at arms, for she was a ranger and a renowned knight. Oh, so this is basically just saying, like, hey, every class kind of has, like, a bunch of the magic classes all have some sort of representation of Mystra through her, like, offspring. Is that right? Hi, Ezra, good to have you here. Which builds are we doing? We're doing Mystra first, and then the rest of the selectable deities, which is only 3 more after that, and then we're done. Is an Elminster and Ed Greenwood self-insert? I have no idea. Probably. This is mainly for RP stuff? Right. I see. Dang. Okay. So I think I get it. I think I get it. Basically just the mother of magic. No specific abilities or kind of special things that we can really focus on unless we wanted to get into the, like, various different, like, offspring and offshoots of, like, Mystra as a whole. Otherwise, I think we do just go with the Wizard Cleric, just keep it simple. I think for a build, like for someone who's as popular as Mystra is, it makes sense to keep it simple, I think. Just overall. I think that makes sense. Party build? I don't know. Full party builds take a lot of time and effort to put together. Oh, hey, you can put together that spellbook for this one. Yes, Chloe, welcome to the stream as well. Thank you for pointing that out, because, yeah, apparently there's, in Act 1, you can get a book that is a container, so you can put your scrolls in it, which basically works as a spellbook, which I think is quite cool. He was Ed Greenwood's Deus Ex NPC in his original D&D games that spawned the Forgotten Realms as a setting. Oh, okay. I believe Elminster is also the great-great-grandfather of the character Simon the Sorcerer in the D&D movie Honor Among Thieves. I have to watch that movie again. I only saw it once, but I have to watch it again. I think I've told this story before, but I was actually at one of the filming locations for D&D Honor Among Thieves about a week after they finished filming there. I literally just missed it. They were filming at Wells Cathedral, and I had gone to visit it while I was on holiday. And yeah, we had missed them by like a week or two, and I recognized it in the film when I watched it with a friend. I was like, oh wait, I recognize that hallway, I recognize that stairwell, and yeah, they filmed multiple scenes there, so I literally just missed them filming. I could have seen that. Maybe. You could actually do one for each of the Seven Sisters, but probably don't. No, I'm going to keep this one simple. I think for the sake of just playing to like the idea of kind of making this a simple build that is going to appeal to a lot of people, I think make this a Gale build, make it mostly Wizard, and go from there. I think as far as the actual, like, I would say as far as the, like, actual, like, powers and such are concerned, we don't have to figure out anything too specific. We just want to be a wizard in every sense of the word, and I think I'm happy to just keep it simple. So now we have to pick what school. I'm leaning towards Abjuration. That would be my personal pick. And we already know we're going Knowledge Domain, and I think a 10-2 split does make sense overall. Wizard, Cleric. That's what I'm thinking. Could also make a party build due to the religious orders and add the Child of the Starry Quill, Shooting Star, and the Mystic Knight Fire Knight. I've done a Child of the Starry Quill build, actually, a long time ago, because it was a build request. I forget if it was a good build. Probably not. This Seven Sister stuff reminds me of the Narnia stuff. One interpretation being a race of women, one sometimes being wife or daughters of Mimir and North Mythos. Interesting. Again, maybe Illusion could work for an Origin Gale since he teaches that in an epilogue. Right, that's true. That is his kind of preferred thing. And that is kind of specifically, but that's more specifically for Gale, I guess. I could see myself using a different class, but saying, hey, if you really wanted to roleplay this as Gale would be, you would use Illusion. I could point that out. But I could honestly say, like, for the actual video itself, hey, pick any class as they all work. But I'm personally going with Abjuration. Which is something I've never really done for Wizard before. I only ever used to do that for maybe like Paladin builds where the Oath wasn't as important. And I'm happy to leave it open-ended like that. And like just say, hey, choose whatever you think works best for what you're trying to do. This will kind of work in multiple ways. I do think Abjuration, for what we're going for here, is the best one. Because again, it synergizes so nicely. Because Arcane Ward is an insane ability. Basically, each time you cast an Abjuration spell, the intensity of the ward increases by the amount of the spell's level, up to a maximum of 2 times your wizard level. So we could have a level 20, like a level 20 Arcane Ward by the end of the build, if we're going to level 10, which we probably will. Each time you take damage, the ward blocks an amount of damage equal to its intensity, and its intensity is reduced by 1. So at the max level, just as an example, level 20 Arcane Ward takes 20 damage off and then reduces, and then the next hit, it would only take 19 off. But if we cast Sanctuary, which means we can't be hit anyway, which means we can stack up those kind of intensity stacks without taking damage, so we can actually get it up that high, and then using things like Shield and all of this, that can really, really work. But then we go to Projected Ward, which spreads that out to the whole team. We suddenly have an amazing support build. Because we can use the cleric spells to heal as well, which again, Elminster had the ability to heal himself, so I feel like that makes sense in the context of this. Again, we're going to have to put some wisdom and intelligence into this build, but we can easily do that. And we'd even get things like Bless as well to be a powerful support build. We'd get Guidance, Sacred Flame. I mean, hell, this would be great for a build to just slap on Gale if he's just a member of your party, in my opinion. You could get a ton of good stuff out of this. At least to me. The level 1 spells alone from Cleric are just great. Hi, Luis. We're making a Mistra build, and then a couple of others after that. Illusion also makes sense here, due to one of the 7 being a trickery domain. Interesting. Also after he reforms, I don't know how to post spoilers here, but there's very much a potential end for Gale depending on the choices post-final boss. I know one of them is that he becomes an illusion teacher. We're not worried too much about spoilers in this stream, because I think most of us have beaten the game and seen the epilogue at least once. But yeah. The int stat helm for 17 ints, so dump stat? No, I don't like the idea, because again, intelligence is going to be our main spellcasting modifier, because we're going to be going with mostly wizards, so it doesn't make sense to use the war type band of intellect. I would say maybe 16 strength, not 16 strength, 16 intelligence, maybe a 12 in wisdom, because again, if we're only using it for like utility spells, we don't need a massive amount, but we still want a bit for the saving throws. And then I would say your next big stat would be either dexterity or constitution, depending on what you care about more. And yeah, we could just go from there. I usually give him 1 level in Draconic Sork for Armor of Agathis. Yeah, that could also work, but I'm quite liking picking up the level 10 feature here, which is like each time you take a short rest, the intensity of your Arcane Ward increases by an amount equal to your Wizard level, which means we could instantly get half of our maximum Arcane Ward just for taking a short rest, which would really, really augment the power of this build. Don't get me wrong, Armor of Agathis would be nice, but technically we could actually get that from, if we desperately, desperately wanted it, there is the... Where is it? The Ice Might Robe, which would give it to us as a level 3 variant, and resistance to cold damage off the bat, and this could also fuel it, but it's only once per long rest. So, I don't know, I'm not too held up on just trying to get that. We do want 20 int, I think, though, because that makes a difference as a wizard. Yes, it absolutely does. We want as much of a spellcasting modifier as we can get. I'd actually be doing the pointy hat here. Oh, absolutely. I think it makes a lot of sense to pick that up, giving us a bonus to our persuasion checks equal to our intelligence modifier. And again, we want the pointy hat, like, or at least a pointy hat, right? Because there's a few we could pick up. So there's the pointy hat, which is obviously a reference to the YouTuber. I mean, it must be. It's got an eye on the front and everything. But we could also pick up the, over here, there's like things like the, Cold Brim Hat for Encrusted with Frost, like Arcane Acuity with the Hat of Fire Acuity, or the Storm Science Power. There's a ton of different ways you could go with it. I think we can keep it pretty simple. Pointy Hat and the Daredevil Gloves. Yes, the Daredevil Gloves would allow us to basically be able to cast our spells from anywhere. We do have to be a bit careful, because I would say those are better if you're going Evocation, because then you can't affect your allies or yourself with your, like, kind of big blaster spells. So we'll have to see. A level 1 dip for Draconic Sork for Constitution saves and Armor of Agathis seems decent. I do see that. I'm glad more people know about Pointy. Yeah. Use 2 staffs. You could use 2 staffs. Or we could go, like, full Gandalf inspiration and go for the, like, the longsword in one hand and the staff in the offhand. Or, like, a short sword or something. You'd need the dual wielder feat, though, in order to do that, which would obviously mean ability scores are a bit more tricky. And again, if we're going for a 10-2 split, we're only getting 2 feats. So it's probably not worth it overall. I would say we definitely want to put 2 ability score improvements. I mean, the only other way you could kind of eke that out would be if you were to go Ethel's Boon. But I don't think this character, especially if we're using Gale, would do that. So I'm not going to say that's like an end goal of the build. For sure. I mean, I'm pretty happy to say Wizard 10, Knowledge Cleric 2. I don't think anyone's going to dispute that. I mean, I could see the level of Sorcerer as an option, for sure. Like, if we have a quick look. Yeah, so you would go... Basically, you would go Draconic Bloodline. Pick the White Dragonborn, giving you Armor of Agathis as another Abjuration spell. And then also getting Constitution saving for proficiency. But unfortunately, if I show this one. Oh, look, I'm live. Who could have guessed? If I go to, like I said, it was the, I think. Yeah. I've already done that exact build. Right here. Except this one was Cleric 5, and then Wizard 6. So I could actually see... I could see us maybe, dropping Cleric down to 2, so doing 3-9. Which Wizard subclass? Abjuration, I think, is definitely the best one to go with, but honestly, any of them could work, and I think I will make arguments for each of them in the video. So I'm actually just going to keep the build itself as just Wizard, instead of, like, specifying a class. I think any would work, but I'm going to be focusing on Abjuration because I think it has the most synergy with the playstyle that I want to go for. But again, it depends on... The level 1 Sork is a trade-off for not having 3 feats. Well, we still get 2 anyway, regardless of whatever we choose. But my big thing is the level of Sorcerer is going to be a trade-off for the level 10 feature from Wizard. Because depending on what you go with, Abjuration gives you basically your Arcane Ward, half your Arcane Ward maximum every short rest. If you went with Evocation, you'd be missing out on buffing your spells equal to your Intelligence modifier, which would be huge. Conjuration, you would get... the ability to not have your concentration be broken when using a conjuration spell. Divination gets... yeah, let's not talk about that. Enchantment gets the ability to cast enchantments on 2 targets. So that's 2 hold monsters, 2 hold persons, multiple different spells there that could work with that can make that extremely strong. Illusion gets Illusory Self, allowing you to basically... Shadow Clone Jutsu, which is actually kind of cool. Necromancy would give you the ability to be resistant to necrotic damage, and your hit point maximum cannot be reduced. Probably not as important, that one. And Transmutation School gives you the ability to turn into a Blue Jay. So I think there's an argument to be made for level 1 of Sorcerer, depending on which subclass you go for, but there's definitely some that you want to go to level 10 for. So this is how I'm going to word it in the build. It's going to be either Wizard 10 or 9... 10 or 9. I'm literally writing out what the description of the video is going to be as we go. No Knowledge Cleric 2. And then have 1 level of Draconic Sorcerer White optional. I think that makes the most sense. What if you're going for mostly Wizard? What is the important level 2 Cleric feature? Wait. Hold on. That's a good point, actually. That is actually a good point. Hold on. If we're going with Knowledge... do we actually care about Knowledge of the Ages on this build? Oh, see you later, boss. Yeah, do we actually need Knowledge of the Ages? Because the only thing we really care about is the level 1 spells, which we're going to get at level 1. And we only care about Sanctuary and maybe the healing spells. Maybe Bless. Huh. We don't actually need Knowledge of the Ages. This isn't a build focusing on getting as many skill proficiencies as we can possibly want. I did that with Ohgma. I like more domain for heavy armor and martial weapons. Yes, but we are sticking to the domains of the gods that we're building for. That's kind of a restriction of this kind of build series. Yeah, 1 cleric, 1 sorcerer, 10 wizard, and then nothing's lost. You know what? Yeah, no, that makes the most sense. I don't see a reason to go to Knowledge Cleric. Yeah, no, I'm going to do that. Thank you for pointing that out. I think that makes the most sense, and then everybody's happy. Yeah, no, I agree. I think that is the best way to do it. 100%. Yeah, thanks for the help, Rob. I don't know why I was so fixated on Cleric 2, and we actually do not need it. At all. Well, I mean, that's the leveling scheme. Pretty much done. I would say at that point, there's not too much else to go into. Let's quickly go over the equipment that we know we want to bring. Which we know we're bringing the pointy hat, because we kind of said we would. And again, it makes sense to kind of pick it up for its ability as well. think that would make sense to have something like that, but I might have it be like an optional thing. But I'll put it in the document to say, like, hey, this is something to pick up. But I'm not going to go too in-depth on the equipment. Like I say, I like to figure that stuff out myself off-stream. And again, the stat spread for this is going to be really, really easy. We don't even have to really think about Charisma with this build, even though we're taking a level of Sorcerer, because we could just pick up things like Shield and other utility spells from Sorcerer, saving our Wizard levels for other things, and just pick up Armor of Agathis, which doesn't need our spellcasting modifier. Markiplier Staff is a must? Yeah, pretty much. Basically, all of the best kind of high-level magic stuff is going to be what you want to go for. I hate that they changed this, that it takes you to just a list of weapons instead of like the actual weapons page where you can get the categories. They need to change that back. But yeah, so obviously, but we could pick things up like you say, Markiplier Staff, Staff of Spell Power. I mean, if there is a staff that actually fits well thematically, I might also recommend that, just to not go for the obvious choice right away. But I do think this is the best option by far, once you get to Act 3. But yeah, no, I'll figure out the finer details of the equipment off-stream unless anyone has anything they specifically think I should go for. But other than that, I'm happy to move on to Gar Glitter Gold. Now the question is, are we dual-wielding? Probably not, simply because of the fact that unless you want to use Ethel's Boon, we can't get dual-wielder and max out our intelligence at the same time. So dual-wielding doesn't really make sense. Ah, yes, the old Ice Prince Gale build that I always go for in my playthroughs. Yeah, something like that. Traditional Markiplier Spell Power combo? Yeah. What about the Blessed Staff? I mean, again, that could just be an early game option. Something along those lines. Imagine a Markiplier build around that one badass quote from him playing a SpongeBob horror game. What quote's that? Can you point that one out to me? Because now that I'm thinking about it, making a build based on Markiplier would actually be hilarious. Because, again, he's kind of been a meme on this channel forever. I've personally been watching him since I was like, I don't know how old. That could actually be really funny. Yeah, Benjamin, can you please source that quote for me? And that might set off some ideas. Instead of using 2 staffs, Markiplier Staff and Kefrik's Shield works well. Kefrik's Shield, remind me exactly what that does. What exactly does Kefrik's Shield do? Get a +1 bonus to spell save DC and attack rolls. Yeah, I could see that working, as well as advantage on deck saves. Yeah, I could see that working. I'll slap that in here in the old document so I can remember that for later. Staff of Arcane Blessing gives Mistress Blessing. 1 second. Staff of Arcane Blessing. Creatures you bless also gain Mistress Blessing for an additional 1d4 bonus to spell attack rolls. Ooh, it comes with Bless, but we'd also get Bless from our Cleric levels as well. Oh, hell yeah, we're absolutely putting this on the build. For sure. Thank you for pointing that out to me, guys, because I would have missed it. It would be a full team build because of the personas of his. Maybe. The staff was owned by a Cleric of Mistra? Okay, yeah, well, we're definitely going to pick that up then. Especially since it's, what, an Act 1 option? Yeah. What's this? It's a passive feature that boosts the wearer's Blessed spell. The creatures you bless also gain Mistress Blessing for an additional 1d4 bonus to spell attack rolls. The in-game description is wrong. Okay, I'll have to remember that. And thus a new meme is born. Well, specifically him from his With Markiplier series. Yeah, exactly. In Dungeons with Markiplier. It's in memes. Oh, thank you. You put it in the Discord. I will have a quick look. I don't get Discord notifications when, We've had a few people join the Discord as well. Welcome, welcome. Memes. Markiplier's... Oh, it's this one! I know the one you're talking about now. What if I want them to kill me? What if I want them to try?
What if I didn't?
You can probably hear it.
What if I didn't run? What if I'm not a coward? What if I'm not gonna run away? What if I'm gonna stand right here? What if I'm gonna make my stand? Huh? What if I want to go toe-to-toe with whatever's gonna come through that door? What if I want them to get me? What if I want them to kill me? What if I want them to try? Anyway, whatever.
Oh my god. I need to do it now. I need to do it just to fulfill the prophecy. I need to do it now. Markiplier build incoming. I'm going to put him in the Deity Build document because he's nothing short as such. Markiplier build. I'll have to... Maybe if there's time at the end of stream, we can figure that one out together. Anyways, back on track. Who is Markiplier? Who is Markiplier? Isra? Isra? Who is Markiplier? Okay, I'm surprised if I guess perhaps it's not for everybody, but like if you've existed on YouTube for long enough, it's hard to not know who he is. So I don't know. That just seems weird to me. Like someone in the internet space wouldn't have at least heard the name before. Meme domain cleric. He has the perfect adventurer mindset. Listen to the edit, Hobo. What edit? What edit? Did you post something else? Oh, there's like a full remix of it. I'll have a look at that later. I won't do that on stream just in case it gets like copy struck, but I will take a look later. Mistress Grace boot. Hold on, I'm just gonna Google, not Google Mistress, but Mistress Grace, Mistress Benevolence. Okay, let's have a look at these two. Mistress Grace. Wearing these boots, okay, so it gives you Featherfall. I think these are just designed to get you through the Magic Tower in Act 1. I don't see a reason to actually use these, I will say. Am I okay? Did anything happen to me? Has something gone wrong? What's gone wrong? Am I okay? Did anything happen to me? Has something gone wrong? What's gone wrong? Option? Yeah. What's this? What's deafening? Can somebody explain this to me? Space wouldn't have at least heard the name before. Meme domain cleric. He has the perfect adventurer mindset. Oh, fair enough, Israel. Listen. Sorry, I was just kind of memeing about what edit. What edit? Did you post something else? Oh, I just realized you could all hear me like repeating myself on stream. But yeah, no, I don't really see a good reason to use Mistress Grace. Mistress Benevolence, obtained by destroying Balthazar's ritual circle during Balthazar's experiment. Gale has advantage on concentration checks. Oh yeah, you need to pick that up. I'm going to put that in the build as a permanent buff that you need to grab. For this, for sure. Hold up. Sometimes I have like that additional buffs section in the description. So I'll pop that in there. I am now hearing echoes of the past. Yeah. Streaming, like, desktop stuff is always really fucky, because it's, like... You guys can hear and see everything, really. But yeah. I don't see a reason to use Mistress Grace. So I think I'm going to leave Mister for now. I think we've got all the key things sorted. I'm happy to move on to Garl, because I want to get the rest of these done, and I would say I've got about an hour and 40 minutes to do it, which, with how many tangents I tend to go on, is not a lot of time. So, Mistress finished. Yeah, obviously we're going to go for the Hood, Cloak, Robe with the Weave. I mean, as an Act 3 thing, that all just makes sense, but again, I'll sort the equipment out on my own time. So, that's another one. The buff is only until a long rest? Oh, that sucks. Why did they do that? But thank you for pointing it out, Ilya. Do you guys think Sorcerer and Paladin combo makes any sense? Yeah. Sorcerer is quite, well, statistically one of the most powerful builds you can make. Sorcerer Paladin is insane. In tabletop as well. But Baldur's Gate 3, Rog, if you want a... maybe like a 6 split, 7-5 split, just to get those high-level spell slots and just hit for those massive smites, as well as getting utility spells like Shield and all that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Paladin Sorcerer is a staple powerful multi-class combo. Right, so, Glitter Gold. Let's go over to his deity page. Glitter Gold. On the Forgotten Realms wiki. Holy shit. No, I need to see the full image. Look at this. Look at this. Okay, look at this man. Alright? Where's the zoom? Where's the zoom on Opera? Here we go. Look at this man. Finally. A worthy opponent for the beard build. Our battle will be legendary. The mustache. Yes. Oh no. That's incredible. Look at this. Look at this absolute beast of an individual. I mean, this guy has swag. He has swagger. He is immense. Holy, what a unit. Okay, back on track. Oh, man. Oh, I know what facial options I'm picking when I do this build. Anyways. Aside from the other non-evil members of the Gnomish Pantheon, interesting to know that there's evil ones, Garl was allied with Yondalla, Corellon, and Moradin. His main companion was his intelligent battle axe, Armandina the Justifier. Okay, so that immediately says to me, spiritual weapon. I think we want spiritual weapon on this build. Hold on, let me just organize my notes a bit. Accessories. And I would say spells, like a specific spell. We definitely want spiritual weapon, for sure. I don't know why I did that on the on Google, not the BG3 wiki, because I'm trying to rush. There you go. Because if we get spiritual weapon, that is like a great axe companion. That just makes sense. I'm gonna pop that in the old notes for that. Okay. Good. Off to a strong start. You gotta use the Hellstash halberd for this one. We can give our gnome the busy stash for Garl Chosen. Yeah, he is Gucci. I guess we're building a bard. Maybe. I don't know yet. Oh no, I didn't think... I've just seen... Oh no. Oh, a man with that mustache thinks we live in a society. Okay. Right. Alignment, lawful good. Symbol is a gold nugget. Primary god of gnomes. Domain is trickery. So we are going to be using trickery cleric for this build. Which immediately takes it down a few pegs on the power scale, but well, hey, we're gonna go with it anyway. Which means we absolutely want level 2, because we want to make use of the actual signature of the Trickery Cleric, which is Invoke Duplicity. And in fact, Mirror Image and stuff is also pretty cool, so, and would make sense for a build like this. Bottom text. He's a comedian. Interesting. Time to make Trickery Domain good. That might be beyond my power. It's okay. It's okay, but it definitely falls in comparison to the others. I Googled Markiplier and yeah, never heard of him. Oh, sorry, Ezra, I'm sorry if I'm giving you like an existential crisis about not knowing who Markiplier is. Oh, man. You never see it coming. Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, at least we get Charm Person. I mean, Trickery is one of the best spell lists. That is true. I will give Trickery that. Charm Person and Disguise Self is great. Invoke Duplicity is awesome. Mirror Image is amazing. Fear is really good. Cloak of Shadows allowing us to turn invisible. Dimension Door and Polymorph can both be good. Getting Divine Strike Poison can also be quite nice. And Dominate Person and Seeming. Dominate Person is quite good. The actual abilities, but then you also get all the regular cleric stuff on top of that. I mean, I've already done a Gentleman Thief, but for some reason, something along, like a Phantom Thief or something, kind of immediately springs to mind, actually. But let's actually read more about Garl and see what we can do from there. Fighter 1, Thief 3, Trickery 8 is legit good. I'll have to see, because yeah, that makes a left-handed spell sword with the Trickery, and I can actually see that working. Remind me of that later, Joshua, when we're going over the actual class list, because I can see that working. So he's the gnome that changes your organs around while you sleep and then changes them back before you awake. What the hell does that mean? Trickery Cleric, Arcane Trickster Rogue? Maybe, but again, Thief could work for a left-handed spellsword. If he wanted to go down that route, but let's see. Garl's tendency to jest with the various deities worshipped by creatures and monsters of the Underdark resulted in him garnering many enemies, but chief among them was the Cobalt Gold Kurtulmuk. So this guy pisses around in the Underdark, just, you know, pissing off all the gods down there. That's kind of funny. Grant me a fraction of thy wit, sire. It is all one could need. Garl was the most popular of the gnomish deities and honoured, one way or another, by nearly all gnomes. His clerics, known as Glitterbrights, oh my god, Wore war helms and gold belts, so I need to make this motherfucker look as extravagant as possible. On the 13th day of each month, the Forgotten Folk held the Community of Laughter in his honor. It consisted of joke-telling contests, communal meals, dancing, prayers, and storytelling, and donations of gold, which Garl's church used to the benefit of the entire community. Well, it's a really wholesome kind of dude. According to legend, Garl Glittergold was exploring the underground when he found a new cavern and inside a new people, the gnomes. He told them a joke and it led to them and let them out into the wild world. According to legend, Garl let himself be captured by Kultamuk, only to escape and cause the entire roof of Kultamuk's cavern to fall on his head. Okay, so trickery cleric bard? Kobolds and gnomes hate each other in the lore. Okay. Is it unnecessary to give everyone in your party except you an elixir of Colossus for this build so you appear even smaller? Joshua just said Thunderblade build with Tempest than trickery. Oh, what? Sorry, there's another conversation happening. He discovered gnomes in the cave and proceeded to tell them an absolute whopper of a joke. That's crazy. Imagine being so funny that you, like, spawn an entire race. Have that gentleman's team go from Dr. Jekyll to Mr. Hyde, evil run of bandits. I need to do... Somebody said that, like, I should do, like, something similar to the Fortunate Four, but instead of theming... But, like, do, like, the evil version and theme them off of the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. But, like, have them kind of be the same vibe, like, kind of regular people who kind of got together, but then were kind of, like, influenced by an evil source of power rather than a good one, and became, like, a Four Horsemen type of group, with powers mimicking them in some ways. I could do like that. It would just take a bit of extra effort on my part. Hell yes, do it. Yeah, it sounds like a really cool idea. I think I will. I'll just have to look into that a bit further. Anyways, so basically this guy, I'm seeing Trickery Cleric Bard. That makes the most sense to me, with Spiritual Weapon being a focus. Because at the end of the day, we can get a level 6 Spiritual Weapon from the Harper's Sacred Striker, which is a staff. Or we could also grab it from Sethin, which would specifically summon the Great Axe variant, which we could also use. Swords Bard Trickery could be good. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Do that as the Dead 3 led by Durg. Well, I want them to do the Dead 3 as like a separate thing, as well as Jurgle. I want them to be their own individual things, whereas I don't mind lumping the Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse together. Because the Dead 3 are going to be part of the Deity Build series as a whole. And I don't want to lump them all in together if I can help it, even though they are obviously so closely linked. But yeah, and Sethin could cast Reduce as well, making someone as small as us. Bobo, in internet folklore, the gnomes fuck around with people a lot. Changing the atoms surrounding your room when you go to the toilet is something they do a lot on people they want to terrorize. What the shit? Man, gnomes are hardcore. Like, top level peak trickery. Damn. Okay, well, let me see then. Let me see. So I'm seeing, oddly enough, this axe, Sethin fits perfectly. If we can find a way to get, proficiency with it, I would definitely use it. Okay. Okay. Just kind of reading up the technical stuff of here. But yeah, Trickery Cleric. Now we have to kind of figure out how far we want to go in each, because I definitely think this is going to be Trickery Cleric Bard. I mean, there's no reason for it not to be. God, there's a lot to scroll through. Like, I can't see it being anything else than that, just because I think that would be wrong. So maybe, yeah, whoever said College of Swords, but College of Swords wouldn't get us... Maybe we need a level of Fighter or two, just to get that. Or we could go for 2 levels of Paladin, maybe? Then we get Divine Smite with all the spell slots we're going to be getting. Maybe. Valabard could work, because Valabard would give us all martial weapon proficiency. And it would let us be a bit more support focused, which could be nice. Which interpretation of the Four Horsemen do you want to do? Given the first three are poorly interpreted from the Book of Revelation, I can get you the Wikipedia page if you want. Has more info on the matter. If the Wikipedia page is considered to be a reliable source of information on those, because I know people are always up in the air about whether or not Wikipedia is actually good or not. I personally think it is, but if people are happy with me to use Wikipedia as a source for that, because again, if I'm going to do the Four Horsemen, I want them to be accurate to what they kind of represent historically. So yeah, I'd be happy with that. If you wouldn't mind posting that maybe in community builds or build requests or something, that'd be great. There's a feat that lets you choose weapons to be proficient in, but I'm not sure if that's efficient. No, it's not efficient in the slightest. I know what you mean. I'm expecting Civilization creating levels of humor in this video. I am not, I'm not that funny. But let's see. We could go with Valor. I could see Valor. But then again, how far do we want to go in Trickery Cleric? Because Trickery Cleric would give us a few of those kind of utility spells that we want. We could just stick with level 2 just to get the basics and get the kind of signature thing. Because if we go with Bard, we're going to be getting like all of the kind of stuff that we want, right? Vicious Mockery, obviously we want that. Tasha's Hideous Laughter, obviously we want that. Dissonant Whispers, healing stuff could also be good. We would want... What else would we want from this? I mean, I guess when you get far enough in Bard, there's not actually that much more that we would explicitly want from it spell-wise. I could see us at least going to level 6, right? To get everything there, like extra attack and all that. But then maybe doing 6/6 split with Trickery Cleric to get Cloak of Shadows to become invisible. And such like that. Oh, I don't do political things. Trust me, Ben. Obviously, you're going to become the god of the fishmen and going to have your likeness used by so... But yeah. Everything chaotic. Isn't there a glove that gives weapon skills? Yes, but I think it only gives longsword. There's like one that gives like bow and longbow and shortbow proficiency, and there's one that gives like longswords and greatswords. I don't think there's one for great axes. Hi, Adrian. You can use whatever you like. I mean, I don't think it's going to have a massive bearing. I've used Valor Eluve on deity builds that aren't Eilistraee, so it's entirely up to you. I honestly think a 6/6 split would be fun here. Well, I think 6 of Bard makes sense just to get extra attack. What's that? What was that a picture of? Oh, cool. Unless there's a specific reason to take a level out of one and put it into the other. Valor Eluve is a great weapon? Yeah. Also, befriend the suspicious Ox. He's basically a childhood friend. Yeah, basically the sub-goal for this build is to just be as chaotic as possible. Which almost makes me want to take a 1-level dip into Wild Magic. Almost. But I kind of did that with the Luck Bender build. And I feel like that's taking it a bit too far in that kind of way. I'd much rather just focus on... Because where Wild Magic is about being chaotic because it's out of your control, this build is chaotic completely within its own control. So I personally prefer that. You know what I could see? Hold on. I could see, if I pop Cleric back over here, I could see us going Paladin to start. I know it seems weird, but if we go Paladin, we go 2 levels of Paladin, it gives us all of our weapon proficiencies that we want. We would get great weapon fighting, so we can use the Sethan Axe, have our great axe as well, and our spiritual weapon. We would gain a bunch of kind of useful spells like the ones you see here, but then we'd also get access to Divine Smite, because since the rest of our levels would be in full casters, I mean, maybe we just take a couple of levels in Trickery Domain, so 2, and then 8 for the rest. Maybe. Polymorph would also be a good spell to grab, but we could grab that from Bard as well, couldn't we? That's level 7. That we need level 4 spells for that. Right. And then greater invisibility as well. Yeah. But we would get that if we went Bard level 8. So I'm thinking 2 Paladin, 2 Trickery Domain to get Invoke Duplicity, and then go the rest Bard for the spell slots and the other kind of tricky spells. Question, is there a black and yellow dye in vanilla? Very important. No, trust me. No, there isn't, unfortunately. The closest you could get is like black and like jade, like kind of one of the greens. Some dyes, depending on what armor set you use, the later, more extravagant dyes can turn certain parts of the armor gold. But it depends. It's not very descript. 228 sounds good. I agree, Riley. Welcome to the stream, by the way. I apologize if I've missed your name already, but I'm satisfied with your class arrangement, and so is your dog. What kind of breed of dog is it again, Sin? I think you've posted a picture of it before, but I can't remember. But yeah, I think a 2-2-8 split works perfectly. Paladin gives us all the martial weapon efficiency we want. It gives us a little bit of extra oomph on our actual attacks, but we also get the trickery stuff. We get things like Invoke Duplicity, and from Bard we're getting Invisibility, Polymorph. We can get Calm Emotions as well, because it's like, okay, man, okay, it was just a joke. Don't you worry about it. Like, stuff like that. We could get Hold Person in Thrall, Phantasmal Force, really cool stuff there, Detect Thoughts. But also, of course, the big ones being Tasha's, Vicious Mockery, all that sort of thing. I feel like we just get everything we want from this, and if we go with swords, we just get the fun kind of attacks and such. Or you can go with Law. In fact, actually, I would say this is one of those builds where, again, any of these subclasses work. If you want to focus more on the sword stuff, go with swords. If you want to focus more on being a support, go with Valor. If you want to focus on magic, go with College of Law, which through Magical Secrets you could pick up things like, I mean, you'd get Magical Secrets at level 10, but we won't be getting that far. But you could pick up things like Haste, Spirit Guardians, Fireball, Counterspell. Counterspell would be like a really good one to just be like, no you. That could really work. Sanctuary as well, but we'd already get that from the Cleric levels. I don't know, there's a few things, but I think it's definitely a choose your favorite situation there. Need black and yellow specifically for this build? Then I don't think there is. There's probably a mod for it if you're on PC, Mine, but I don't know. The tag is a Jack Russell Shih Tzu crossbreed, known as a jack shit. You're trolling me. You're trolling me again, Sin. I know you are. Nimblefinger gloves would be good for the gnome. Yes, I've been meaning to use those gloves, and I never have got around to it. But I think I'm going to go for the 2-2-8 split, because it just feels good. It feels good. So we're going to go with Oh, but what Oath if we're going Paladin? Because we kind of need a reason to link that in. I could see Ancients, just based on the fact that, you know, there is kind of that link to nature with Garl in a weird way. I could see that working. I think I would go with Oath of Ancients. And it would give us a bit of healing stuff as well, which is nice. Yeah, Oath of Ancients. Fetish of Caladurin also gives invisibility and is based on the known god. Interesting, okay. Oath of Ancients is very on theme. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So I'm thinking Ancients Paladin. Oh, but I'll just put regular Paladin, because at the end of the day, people can do whatever. Paladin to... Trickery... Cleric 2. And then finally, Bard 8. And it's your choice of subclass for any of those. Now, is there any specific equipment that would make sense? We want the Nimblefinger gloves. We did say that. Because that would really help with the stats as well. It's an Act 3 item. And it actually works with Disguise Self. Interestingly enough. But yeah, we definitely want these as like an Act 3 option for sure. Because just having more decks is just nice. And when do we ever play as a gnome? So yeah, I think that works. Isn't the Radiant Orb set gold? Yeah, but it depends. Okay, so The color theory in, like, basically how color works, like, when it comes to dyes in Baldur's Gate 3 is really, really strange. In my Ohgma video, I discovered that if you use certain dyes, like, if you, like, use a dye on an armor and then use another dye on an armor, it creates a different color combination. I had no idea that existed in the game, and I'm not sure it's intentional, but the color I use in the new Ohgma video from Friday was a result of using 2 different dyes, one after the other, to get a unique color. I don't know how many dyes that works with, but it is a thing. Fetish of Caladuran is a ring you find in Grimshaw. Yeah, certain ones, yes, not all, yeah. Band of the Mystic Scoundrel, yeah, that's basically going to be required. It's funny how chaotic a lawful good deity can be. That's what being a gnome gets you. Yeah. Ancients has a bringing joy idea too as well. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. So yeah, Ancients Paladin 2. Ancients Paladin 2, Trickery Crack 2, Bard 8, and we'll pick up... If there's... I don't know if there's any... Oh, and we already got the Sethan Axe, because that's what we want for this build for sure. And obviously I'm going to need to give this man a uber mustache. So, let's see. What else can we pick up here? Lighter... No, we don't want anything here. We want to look at... I don't know if there's any specific equipment that we deliberately want for this build, unless there's anything you guys can think of right off the top of your head. But to me, I think I'm good to, again, just figure this stuff out on my own time. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. Armor, yeah. Well, we can go all the way up to heavy, so let's just see. But does he twirl it, the stash? If you have a stash that long and you don't twirl it, that's like a sin against existence. It's like a crime against everything that the universe stands for. Everything the universe was built upon. It's a fundamental law of physics that if you have a mustache that looks this freaking good, you twirl that shit. Evil or not, I don't care. That shit's getting twirled. Okay? Armor of Agility probably would be the best overall option just from like a power perspective, but again, if I can find something that's more like, what do you call it, lore, like it's got something like an interesting lore connection, I would probably go with that. Again, not focusing on the equipment right now, just if there's anything specific, I would kind of go for that, but we'll see. Because, I mean, Garl looks like this. And I feel like I could at least capture that with camp clothing, for sure. So I'll have to try and get that off of camp clothing, definitely. Sorry, I'm just making sure the stream's all good again. Yeah, okay. Looks like we're all good. Sometimes the stream gets a little bit weird and I just have to double check it's okay. Right. And it kind of looks like the light armor you get from Volo. Yeah, the Bardic Inspiration one. I know the one you're talking about. My only problem with that armor is it's a bit shit. Don't get me wrong, it looks perfect, but if we go over to camp clothing, check this out. There is some very, very good options to kind of get that similar vibe as well. Like the Patriarch outfits can be quite good, or the Aristocrat ones can get a very, very similar vibe. In fact, I'd say the Aristocrat ones are definitely kind of what you want to go for to kind of get that overall look. We could absolutely get it through there. Or the circus outfit. Maybe not as much. But yeah, I think I'm good on Glitter Gold. I think we've got everything we kind of wanted for that build. Provided some context for one of the gods that is equivalent to the Horseman of Pestilence. Right, I'll look at that later, because I kind of want to knock out the rest of these builds before I have to end, unfortunately. Otherwise, I will look at that later. But I want to kind of get on with the stream now, because we've been kind of bouncing back and forth between topics. So, Garl is finished, so we're moving on to... I've just opened that accidentally. We are going to go for Helm next. So let's have a quick look at Helm. Which is Helm. There we go. Oh, this is a Dark Souls character. Okay. Under Article 7 of the Mustache Code, you are required to twirl any mustache longer than 3 inches. The classic punchline of the aristocrats. Yeah. Sim attack, is that limited to personal twirling or can be group twirling for those who can't grow a proper stash of their own? Good lord, we're discussing mustache twirling ethics now. Okay. Helm was the Faerunian god of guardians and protectors, worshipped by guards and paladins both. The vigilant one had long since been seen as a cold and focused deity who impartially took the role of defender and sometimes enforcer, but his activities in the times of troubles caused the folk of Faerun to view him differently. The Watcher was the epitome of the vigilant guardian and the embodiment of the spirit of watchfulness, whether used for good or for ill. He returned to Faerun with the restored faith of his chosen. Okay, Cleef Kenrick. Oh, again, these are just Dark Souls characters. Was a human fighter paladin, a member of the Kenrick family, a top sword in the Mesember Watch of the Mesember in Cormyr, and chosen of Helm in the late 15th century DR. He played an influential role during the events of the Second Sundering, helping thwart the divine schemes of the goddess Shah upon the Eye of Gruumsh, freeing those trapped within the spell-plagued Sadrock Spire, and restoring the Underchasm to its pre-spell-plague state. So this guy... Jesus Christ, this guy's badass. Yeah, War Cleric, Devotion Paladin, with some Fighter mixed in, feels right. But here's the thing, his domain isn't war, though. It's Life, Light, and Twilight, so war is off the table. Because I guess he's not about fighting for fighting's sake or fighting for bloodshed's sake. It's about defending and protecting. In which case, I would say Light is probably the domain we want to go for, because Light would be the one that would give us, if I quickly jump on over to Cleric, Light would be the one that give us a actual ability that's useful with melee combat, which is Warding Flare, to impose disadvantage on attackers. Champion Fighter with Light Domain, Halberd of Vigilance. Yeah, I could see this being a Halberd build, but I don't know yet. Let's see. I mean, this guy's kind of got a great sword. And Helm is depicted using a sword in this image. Adjective is a Helmite. Okay. He of the Unsleeping Eyes, the God of Guardians, the Great Watch, the Watcher, the Vigilant one. Okay. I see a good bit of healing, so Life Cleric, Oath of Ancients? Maybe. Let's have a look. Helm always appeared as a 14 to 20 feet tall man in plate mail armor, his face concealed by his helm. His avatar appears in front of his chosen Cleef as a fully armored blue knight, a giant tall knight with blue plate and with fire hail pinging off his armor and helmet. I forget, are there any helms in the game that actually hide the player's face? I mean, there's a couple, but that I can think of right off the bat, but they all look a bit shit. Let's have a look. There's a Cap of Wrath. There's Bone Spike Helmet, the Helldusk Helmet, Mask of Soul Perception. But I'm looking for actual, like, helmets. Helmet of Arcane Acuity. Not really. The Steel Watcher. Ah, the Steel Watcher Helm. Yeah, that one would definitely work. Makes us immune to being blinded, too, and advantage on con saves? Could be good. Just make sure to use a helmet? Yeah, that's the main thing. For sure. I think it's a Grim Skull helm, but it just looks goofy? I don't know, probably the Steel Watcher helmet would actually be a fun one to use. Yeah, the Grim Helm, yeah, the Grim Helm does, but, like, again, it just... I don't know. Don't get me wrong, it's good. Resistance to critical hits, Hunter's Mark, and resistance to fire damage is great, but I think I'd rather go with the Steel Watcher helmet just for the aesthetic. And the concentration saving throws thing is really nice, especially if we use the Smite variants. I mean, as far as the leveling scheme, I mean, I'm gonna keep reading. Hold on, let me keep reading. Relationships, the reincarnated... Oh yeah, this guy was friends with Mystra. Right. Far back in time, the deity Lathandar caused a divine purge known as the Dawn Cataclysm, in which Helm's lover, a lesser deity of pragmatism called Moradin, was a victim. Helm begrudged the Morning Lord for this. However, Helm reserved his real opposition for deities whose plots threatened the people and stability of Faerun, especially Bane, Cyric, Mask, and Shar. He was also especially at odds with the uncontrolled violence and careless destruction of the deities Garagos, Malar, and Talos. So he would so this character would probably have a bit of a conflict with Shadowheart then, which is interesting. I wonder if she actually has any dialogue for that, but probably not. Worshippers, a basic prayer to Helm. Prior to the time of troubles, Helmites were long respected and revered for their dedication and purpose, especially in the frontiers of the north. Throughout the Divine Crisis and beyond, they unfailingly pledged to come to the defense of those who called for it. They wore polished, full suits of armor, often enchanted as Everbright. Everbright, what's this? The technique was invented and discovered by the dwarves and other races, trying to duplicate its effect. Someone else over me actually did it. What does it do? What does it do? They're incredibly shiny. Cause it to flash an extremely bright light twice per day, possibly dazzling those nearby. Oh, that's literally warding flare from Light Domain. Yeah, so we want Light Domain, right? Yeah, for sure. We definitely want Light Domain, because it's literally a whole part of, like, the armor that the Chosen would wear. Yeah, so Light Domain is basically a requirement. Okay. Yeah, cool. The Faith was especially popular in Cormia, the Dragon Coast, Tefia. Yeah, okay. Nothing too crazy then there. History, yeah, I'm not too interested in all that. Okay, so. Here's what I'm thinking. Devotion Paladin 5. Light Cleric 1. Battle Master Fighter 6. Throw in a Great Weapon Master in there for good measure. Because we got this guy, right? Who would definitely be an interesting, like, kind of foil to model off of. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is kind of power buildy, but unless we wanted to lean into, like, more of the protection side of things, in which case we could go with, like, a sword and shield type deal, and focus on, like, feats like... Where are they? We have a... Isn't there, like, a shield master feat, or am I stupid? Sentinel, this is what I'm thinking of. When an enemy in melee range attacks an ally, you can use a reaction to make a weapon attack against the enemy. Target must not have the Sentinel feat. When you hit a creature with attack of opportunity, you can no longer move for the rest of its turn, and you get advantage on opportunity attacks. Shield Master as well. You gain +2 bonus to dex saves while wearing a shield. If a spell forces you to make a dex save, you can use a reaction to shield yourself and diminish the effect's damage. On a fail save, you only take half. On a successful save, you don't take any. Like, yeah, so it's like protection, right? Blinding enemies with the radiating orbs to protect others from harm? Maybe. Is it possible to have a double shield build? No. No, you can't equip a shield in the main hand and one in the offhand. Protection would be good. Redemption Dark Urge build? Maybe. Sentinel and Polearm Master. Maybe. I could see that. I could see that. Sentinel definitely. Maybe. But I'm also seeing Shield Master as being appropriate, right? Has to be a greatsword? I don't see why. I don't see why it has to be a greatsword. This guy was a chosen, but he used a greatsword. But I don't think Helm specifically requires a greatsword. It doesn't say anywhere. I think we can go with a halberd, and I think it would actually be fine. So we could do this as a Polearm Master build with Sentinel as well. Where is Polearm Master? Let me have a look. Polearm Master. When you're attacking with a glaive, halberd, pike, quarterstaff, or spear, you can use your bonus action to attack with the butt of your weapon. You can also make an opportunity attack when the target comes within range, and then Sentinel would obviously give us more with that. Wait, so hold on, but Polearm Master... You can also make an opportunity attack when a target comes within range. Sentinel. When you hit a creature with an attack of opportunity, they can no longer move for the rest of the turn. When an enemy in melee range attacks an ally, you can use reaction. Unless we had 2 reactions somehow? These feats kind of don't play nice. This is a Dark Souls character, power building in their blood. Yeah, I mean, I used to make Souls builds before I did this. Also nice to have you in the streamer clips. That's interesting, trophy. That actually sounds like an interesting aesthetic. Control F and search sword. Maybe. Let's have a look. Oh, whoops. I can actually spell sword. That'd be great. Nope, it's only in the references to the Sword Coast Adventurer Guide. I mean, obviously this guy, but again, he is just a guy. He wields an enchanted greatsword named Watcher. Oh, in which the Steel Watcher helm suddenly has a bit more meaning to it, which I find kind of funny. Did I already put it in the... No, I haven't actually set up the document yet. Hold on. Just gonna get my notes together. Yeah, we definitely want the Steel Watcher helm, I think, in this build. I think it makes the most sense of just being a very good-looking helm that covers up our head and gives us a bunch of useful stuff. So I'm going to put that there and remember that it's there. I know it's an Act 3 option. Quarterstaff will allow Polar Master and Shield Master. That is true. That is true. I've never gotten the opportunity attack or Polar Master to trigger. Really? Interesting. In 3rd edition, Deities had flavored weapons helm was a greatsword, hence why people might be saying greatsword. Okay, I see that. Let's have a look. I mean, it all depends on... Again, I want to lean more into the protection aspect rather than the straight up being a massive damage dealer aspect, because I've done like Great Weapon Master builds and such like that before. But the idea of leaning into the protection side of things, I think, makes a lot of sense, at least in my opinion. A longsword would be a good option for a sword as shield. Yeah, especially since Helm, again, is depicted using a longsword here. I feel like that would work. Or spears. Spears could work. The spears work with Polar Master. Yeah, a Polar Master spear shield build, like kind of like a hoplite, could actually be really fun. The only problem is that the best spears in the game are these two. And I'm not entirely sure I want to steal Selune or Shar's thunder here, especially not Shar. The Infernal Spear could work, or just a generic +2 spear, I guess. That's the only thing. Aside from these two legendary weapons, which for most people it won't matter, they'll just use them, but for specifically us, it's a bit trickier. It's sad that there has been a historic precedent for giant greatswords in history, though they seem to be forgotten in fictional media. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Why not Halberd? Because we're looking into the possibility of using a shield for the protection aspect. That's why. That's why we're not. I'm kind of bouncing back and forth. This is going to be the hardest thing. I think this build is going to be, what weapon are we using? I think the actual leveling scheme is fairly obvious. I think we're going with Paladin 5, Light Cleric 1, and then to top it all off, I would say... Hey Sin, if you're still in the stream, I know you just opened Baldur's Gate 3. What? You're not paying attention anymore? And probably Battlemaster Fighter. Because Battlemaster Fighter has maneuvers that revolve around working with and protecting allies. So it makes sense. So I'm seeing Paladin 5, Light Cleric 1, Battlemaster 6, for sure. Sorry, what you want about, Australius? I didn't see. The Watcher's Guide Spear is Helms? Wait, really? If that's true, then that pretty much does it anyway. What? The Watcher's Guide. The Watcher's Guide is an uncommon spear that increases the chance to hit after the target after the wielder misses. The timers dampen the spear's sheen, but the center glows a faint blue. The magic it exudes feels old, terrible, and divine. The spear was given to its previous owner for his unerring loyalty even after death. Yeah, because Helm is referred to as the Watcher. Yeah, so this is the Watcher's Guide. This is kind of like Helm's spear. And it grants True Strike, the best cantrip in the game. Oh, we have to use it now, don't we? That scared me so bad. I'm trying to figure out the BG3 mod manager. Apologies, mate. I wanted to be a dick. I know, I think I was successful. Protection and dueling fighting styles, most likely for this one. Yeah, because we could pick up 2 fighting styles from this, which makes sense with that leveling scheme. So we'd get protection fighting style and the dueling fighting style to get that kind of I think a spear and shield is the way I want to go. Somebody made a case for one of them. Hold on. Joshua could easily describe Shah's spear as having claimed upon defeating a cloister of Shah followers, and now puts her spear to good use in the service of Helm and protecting Baldur's Gate. I like that, actually, with the only issue being the way you actually get Shah's spear. That's the only concern I would have. Otherwise, yes, that's perfect. It's too bad the Watcher's Guide sucks, lol. Yeah, that's, again... I mean, you can kind of make it a bit better with the Drakethroat Glaive. But beyond that, not really. The only thing you could actually do is you can turn this into a +2 weapon. And here's how you do it. Have a Hireling with the dual wielder feat. Give that Hireling the Drakethroat Glaive and the Flail of Ages. Make them a sorceress you can twin cast as well as if you want, but that doesn't really matter. Use the Drakethroat Glaive buff on the spear, making it a +1 with a extra elemental buff. Then have the person equip the spear in the main hand and the flail in the offhand, and then all of a sudden, and then they can cast the flail's buff to give it another +1 and another 1d4 of an element, making it +2 with an extra 2d4 of damage. That could work. That's a decent Hireling build. Going for a Hoplite build then? In a way, yes. I'm kind of hoping to. 5 to 6 is better, that way we can have 3 feats. Yeah, exactly. I've got 5 to 6, Paladin 5, Light Cleric 1. Because I think that works. That actually stacks, yeah. Flail of Ages buff and Drakethroat buff don't stack. Do they not? I thought they used to. Am I wrong? Do they not stack anymore? My apologies. I thought they did because, hold on, because I remember the Flail of Ages being done differently, unless it's been changed. Because I remember that used to work, but perhaps they patched it. Hold on, I'll check it. Flail. If I could actually spell. Flail. If I could actually spell. Flail of Ages. Because it's called Elemental Age. Does not stack. Okay, I swear it used to. But it does stack with magic weapon. My apologies, guys. Ignore everything I just said because I'm an idiot. Perhaps I'm thinking of when I used them for my dual wielder build and I had the 2 buffs before I learned that twin casting was a thing. Whoops. My apologies. Sorry about that. I think you have to go with the Watcher's Guide for the roleplay. Yeah, I agree, Mitchell. I do agree. Unless... Hear me out on this. Hear me out on this. I don't think there's any relationship here, but... Picture it this way, okay? They were going through the game, right? We're going, yep, playing Baldur's Gate 3. We're playing with the Watcher's Guide because it's the most lore-accurate thing, right? But then, you get to Act 2, you get to the end of Act 2, and you're going through the whole thing, and you get Selune's Blessing, and you use the Spear of Night, but you flavor it in a way of, like, this is like a union of the deities. You've got Selune and Helm kind of both influencing the party at the same time. That could work. Although I admit it's stretching the kind of lore a little bit. We would get Dark Vision, we'd get Moonbeam sort of thing. I mean, there's things here. I don't know. As a paladin, you can cast magic weapons, so that does help. Yeah, and we'd get advantage on the con saves for it as well. I got a dip, see you people later. Yeah, see you later, Sim. We could have someone concentrate on magic weapon in the party? Yeah. Dame Aelin blessing the Watcher's Guide to become the Spear of Night? Yes, kind of what I'm going for. But then that does take away some agency from Shadowheart, but if you don't care about using Shadowheart, then it's not really a big deal, is it? Considering the amount of stuff that mentions a Blue Knight, are we looking at the Adamantine and Sousa for equipment? Probably not the Sousa stuff, but the Adamantine stuff, absolutely. That makes perfect sense. And I like the Paladin levels here as well, because we get things like Compelled Duel and Command, forcing enemies to attack us, which leans into the protection angle. I was going to say the Defender Flail exists, but it might not work the best. Yeah, I don't know if that's really what we're going to go for. Joshua just flavored it in the best way. Yeah, did I just... I'm hoping I read that. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe we could go with, like, the Watcher's Guide blessed into the Spear of Night as the game goes on. I kind of like that. I feel like... And again, it kind of gives you, like, a natural progression. The only other thing would be... But again, I don't think you'd play an evil character, but claiming Shah's Spear for your own out of spite could work, but I don't think you would play an evil character here. You redeem Shadowheart, also the Cobalt die? Yes, exactly. Tell you what, we'll go with Watcher's Guide into Selune Spear of Night. Just because, again, it's the best spear in the game, but people can change it up however they like. And I'll kind of give a lore reason kind of for justifying it. And we could say, like, well, why? What happened to the actual Spear of Night that you used in the game? It got thrown off the edge, and they didn't actually get it back, so they used the Watcher's Guide instead. that's how I'll justify that. Did I just close the stream? No, I didn't. Yeah, I'm gonna give Josh credit for that one. Hold up. Credit. Yeah. If there's a specific way you want to be credited, let me know. Like, a specific name. Because I've just put Josh, but I don't think that's going to work. Right. A Helm character would never kill Aelin? Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. So, yeah, I think we've got the basics down. Somebody was saying that for the blue knight kind of deal, we want the blue armor, and I agree. The adamantine set would be perfect here. Because, again, you get it early on enough in the game, and it just gives you so many good buffs, and it fits the theme so well. But I personally agree. I think it's the best option, because you get 18 AC at base, so we're getting 20 with a shield. Magical, we reduce all incoming damage by 2. We cannot have critical hits land against us, and when people attack us, they are sent reeling. Like, it just makes too much sense for a build that's trying to direct attacks away from itself, away from allies, onto itself. I think that makes too much sense. You really should change your name on here. Oh, Kirk, Joshua, of course. How did I not make that connect? My apologies, Captain Kirk. I'm so sorry. I didn't even read your last name. Of course you're Captain Kirk. Oh, that's a typical hobo moment right there at this point. I don't read. Adamantine shield is pretty good too. Yeah. But when you already have the armor, is it stacking on a bit too much? Like, because, again, the adamantine shield is good, right? Obviously, it's very good. But with the fact that we're getting most of the stuff we want here from the shield, the only thing we'd get is, like, the stacking reeling, which can be very good. But I feel like we'd rather use that second piece of adamantine for something else. No worries. It's not on you, mate. I could have figured it out. Someone said the Sentinel Shield. Gain a +3 bonus to initiative and advantage on perception rolls. Okay. Seems cool. Would the Dwarven Splint mail work just dyed blue? Yeah, absolutely. Probably. But again, the Dwarven Splint mail is one of those armors that work really weirdly with dyes because it's all metal. Because the way the dyes in this game kind of work is they kind of look at, like, okay, what parts of the armor are metal and what parts of the weapon are cloth. Not parts of the weapon, parts of the armor are cloth. And the different, like, and it has different color coding for each. So a lot of armors that'll be like, oh yeah, you're going to dye it this color will actually dye, like, either the cloth or the metal a completely different color. And the Dwarven Splint mail just does not play ball with what you expect the dyes to be. It's really annoying, actually. If there's any knowledge I'm happy to take away from Blimmin... Oh god, how many months has it been now? 7 months of build making? It's minor shit like that. Like how goofy the fucking system is for dyes. I had my old gamer name from when I was 13 as my YouTube name for a bit, then changed it to Benjathin because it was my nickname for my newer gamer tag. Yeah, Hobozone was something I made up years ago. It was literally from a random name generator, was it? Right. And then for the shield, which I guess is the other, like, important part of this, you could go for the Shield of Devotion, giving you another spell slot, which is another smite. The Shield of the Undevout would allow you to cast Fear, but I don't know how good that is. Vicona's Walking Fortress is obviously just the best shield in the game, +3. A better shield bash, Reflective Shell being a unique ability tied only to it, allowing you to reflect projectiles. Basically any shield would work. I forgot about the metallic dice, my bad. No, don't have it. Nobody has to apologize. Don't apologize for stuff. We really need a website that can show how the dyed armor sees. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so the Sentinel Shield would be like a +3 bonus to initiative rolls. That's the main thing you get from that. As well as the advantage on perception checks, but yeah, I mean, it's okay. I forget that this one basically lets you use Darkness as a bonus action. That's just kind of cool. Yeah, I don't know. Any shield will work. I'll figure out the exact ones. I used a Mystrophy theme die on armor, and it was decent, though it's modded. Right. Mine was actually my name, but I changed it so there's no confusion from those who know me from the Discord. Oh, okay. Anyways, I'll leave that there for now, because looking at the time... Yeah, we've got less than an hour, because I got stuff I need to do. So, I'm happy to leave Helm where we've got it for now, and move on to Tyr, and wrap this up. So, Tyr, we're going to look at next. This is going to be fun, because this is like Norse mythology stuff, which I like Norse mythology. So, we're going to be done with Helm for now, so let's get back to the main attraction. Let's go to Tyr. Right. Tyr. No, I don't want Tyr hash... Oh, well, doesn't matter. No! No! Stupid advertisements popping up last second. Ugh. I just saw I saw like swimwear, and I'm like, what are we about to see? I'm glad I clicked off it quick enough. Okay. Tyr, also known as something in Calamtion, was the lawful good greater god of law and justice in the Faerunian pantheon. Oh, so a bit like Bahamut, but less dragony. Also, this guy reminds me of like a mix of like Horaloo and like Zeus. Definitely different from the Tyr that I've seen in other media. God of Law and Justice, the leader of the coalition of deities known as the Triad. Open that up for later. The title's the God of Justice allegorized his nature to his followers. He bore the title of the maimed god for his missing right hand. Oh, I just noticed that, yeah. That's cool. You initially said Tyr in a very American accent for a second, it threw me off. Yeah, sometimes my Canadian accent will come out, like when I talk like this for a minute. Because I used to sound like this all the time, but then I actually got my English accent back when I moved back to the UK. And I kind of have to stop myself from using the Canadian accent sometimes, because sometimes I default to it, especially when I get a bit excited, or I'm hanging around with my other Canadian friends on Discord or something. So this is what I used to sound like. I almost did the whole April Fool's video in this old voice, but I thought that might be a bit too weird. I could talk like this for a while longer, but I'm actually having to maintain focus on it, so I'm going to switch back to my normal voice now, because I think that makes a bit more sense. But anyways, he bore the title of the maimed god for missing his right hand, lost in an act of bravery and self-sacrifice, and his title of the even-handed refers to his position as the god of justice, though he was also seen as dark humor. A bit. The wounded eyes of the blind overlord, meanwhile, were seen as symbolic of blind justice, and the cost that sometimes came with living a lawful life. His symbol, however, balanced scales upon a warhammer, truly symbolizing his nature, justice upheld with armed vigilance and benevolent might. Karlach's nemesis, a paladin of Tyr. Well, those guys weren't real. They were fake. They were just agents of Zariel pretending to be paladins of Tyr. Although that does immediately remind me of, thank you for doing that, the Sword of Justice, which I think is kind of a requirement for this build. It's a +1. It gives us Tyr's protection, which would basically give us Shield of Faith once per short rest, and is literally called the Sword of Justice. I mean, that is exactly what we need. Yeah, the Sword of Justice, for sure. They were devils, lol? Yeah. I don't know 40k, Mine. No, I've heard 40k is a There's a bit of a rabbit hole. But anyways, let's get back to Tyr. An interloper deity, Tyr known as the one-handed across... Something happened. OBS just... Uh-oh. Uh-oh, what happened? Where's stream? Where's stream? There's like a full remix of it. Uh-oh, what happened? Where's stream? Where's stream? There's like a full remix of it. What happened? Discord just told me it disconnected. What happened? Everything's dark. Oh, good God, is that Vlaakith? Hang on a minute, I think I've been kidnapped. I'm joking. I don't know what happened there. Discord suddenly disconnected. Not Discord. OBS suddenly told me that it disconnected. So something went a bit squirrely there. Hopefully I'm back. Am I back? Is the stream live? It looks like it is. Squirrely there. Squirrely there. Okay, yeah, it looks like it's back. Okay, cool. Apologies for that, everyone. I suddenly disappeared. We did lose the sound for a minute. Weird. 40k is at the time period. It's how much debt you'll be in. Kanita. Oh shit, is he back? Oh god. Anyways, speaking of gods, let's finish this up because I've got about 40 minutes. Tyr was portrayed as blind or with a bloody bandage over his eyes and missing his right hand. He did not try to hide or bandage his stump. He was usually shown as a burly, noble warrior with a powerful build and a bearded face. God, I wish we had blind fighting in this game. God, I wish we had blind fighting in this game. Because I'm like so nervous now about the stream going down again. I'm fighting in this game. Yeah, okay. I think we're good. Yeah, no, I wish we had blind fighting in this game, because then I would absolutely make, like, a blinded character who can, like, fight in, like, you know, fog clouds and shit. Barbarian, maybe. Maybe. Tyr was often shown wielding a powerful magic sword or a warhammer and dressed in light armor or chainmail. When an avatar of Tyr appeared to his followers, his eyes or eye were the first the color of bright steel, but they faded away into empty sockets before the avatar vanished. His brow always shone with a white radiance or halo, leaving no doubt as to his divine nature. We don't need to read powers. Here we go. Tyr is said to be able to instantly perceive any thief coming near him and see invisible objects and persons. So we want see invisibility, probably from Volo's Urstat Eye, if I had to imagine. I mean, there's the ring. Yeah. I could probably make a character that, like, looks blind and then use the Eversight ring to kind of patch that up. That could work. He's more like Thor's brother than the other of Thor's brothers. Interesting. Yeah, we'll go for Volo's eyes to see invisibility. If casting magic, Tyr never used damaging necromantic spells. His spells from the lore sphere were 3 times as powerful as normal. Okay. He always knew anyone's moral and ethical viewpoint and could detect any lies. So we want insight proficiency on this. Okay. Tyr was immune to all illusions, fear, or magics affecting one's emotions. Frenzy Barbarian? Because level 6 Frenzy Barbarian, which I know seems weird, but hear me out. Level 6 Frenzy Barbarian has the ability to... Yeah, you can't be charmed or frightened, and calm emotions no longer end your rage. So something maybe like that? I don't know. We'll have to see. Tyr's longsword was named Justitia. It was said to have been a gift from either Tyr's predecessor or from Lord Eorl himself, and was crafted with the aid of Mystra. Tyr's warhammer was especially disrupting to undead. Okay. In the divine realm of Asgard, Tyr was responsible for ensuring only the most valiant warriors were permitted to gain access to the Great Hall of Valhalla. Okay, so that's typical Norse stuff, nothing new there. Yeah, this is all just Norse stuff. Okay, I said just Norse stuff. Here we go, Worshippers, this is where we want to read. Yeah, adds to being maimed. Yeah, I think Volo's Eye makes sense. Wait, hold on. Something Marvel got wrong. Loki's is actually Odin's blood brother, not Thor's. He's Thor's uncle. Oh, okay. How about the cap that makes a dust cloud and the ring that protects from blinding? Which cap is that? I thought that was a cloak, Sim. Can you give me the name of that piece of equipment? Or Wildheart to get the maimed. Oh, right, there's a maimed status condition. Let's keep seeing. Among Tyr's worshippers were judges, lawyers, magistrates, the oppressed, paladins, and police. Going for the modern AU there, I guess. Tyr was particularly popular in the lands of Kenlashan, Cormia, the Dalelands, okay, all those places. The highly organized Church of Tyr was strong in the more civilized lands of the realms. They were known for never refusing service or aid to the faithful when they were in distress. The blind god ruled over law and justice, encouraging valiant acts from his followers and relentlessly pursuing oathbreakers. Followers of Tyr were always expected to show fairness, wisdom, and kindness to the innocent. Tyrants never enforced an unjust law. Reading that paragraph makes the events of what happened with Karlach when you first meet her with those paladins of Tyr in quotations just that much more ironic. I think they just meant the cloak. You're right, it's a typo. Okay, fair enough. But yeah, the cloak could make sense. We'll see. We'd have to get a way to reliably disengage, which could mean rogue levels. After the time of troubles, where an entire decade passed where Tyr forbid specialty priests within his church. The clergy believed that he wished to ensure that no members of the faith were treated with a greater favour than the others. After other churches mocked them for this, Tyr established special orders of priests beginning after the Feast of the Moon. Oh, dude succumbed to peer pressure, come on. Right, so... basically... we want kind of like to recreate blind fighting? So yeah, getting the Eversight ring makes sense, for sure, so I'll probably put that as a definite on the build. But again, he also had, mental resistances, so I feel like a part Barbarian makes sense. So maybe Barbarian Paladin. I'm not gonna bother with that. Yeah, hold on, Eversight ring. We definitely want the Eversight ring, because we're not going to take Warlock levels, I don't think. Oh yeah, we need a cleric level in there as well. Oh, what was his domain specifically? War. Okay. So yeah, we definitely want a war cleric level. That's going in there for sure. Yeah. So maybe rogue war cleric? I don't know, Dex. You only need 2 levels of rogue for the disengage action, and you can use the expertise in insight. That is true. That is true. Right, okay. So maybe, yeah, we go with Berserker Barbarian 6. But then I feel like if you're going to level 2 of Rogue, you might as well go to level 3 for the extra bonus action, right? Because then you could use the Disengage to create the Cloud, and then also get things like Frenzy Strike and Enraged Throw. If only Law and Order. Easy meme. Yeah. Dun-dun. Yeah, but War Cleric? Yeah, but, well, we don't have access to Rogue, so... no, we don't have access to, Order, so we have to go for War Cleric. War Cleric would give us War Priest as well, which would be another way of using our bonus actions too, so we get more out of that. I don't know. I mean, is there any reason to go further in War Cleric? Probably not if we're going Barbarian, because we won't be able to cast spells. Rogues are supposed to be sort of criminals? Not necessarily the Nim. That's a pretty that's like a pretty stereotypical interpretation of a rogue. Anybody who's kind of like rather dexterous. Like, think about it like this. If you look at the D&D 5e classes, in fact, here, I'll even freaking pull it up. 5e tools. Because this, if you didn't know, is one of the best resources for playing D&D. But let's see. If we go over to the classes for Rogue, and I'm going on a tangent here, but, you know, this is just kind of what I'm about at this point. We get things like Swashbuckler, which is more of a pirate, so yes, technically a criminal. And there's Assassins, but there's also things like the Inquisitive, or the Mastermind, which are more about being, like, you know, investigators or strategists. Like, rogues aren't just... I mean, there's scouts as well, and a scout rogue is like a kind of, like, look-ahead type dude and figure shit out type dude. Yeah, I don't think... No, rogues aren't limited to being criminals. There's a ton of different things here. Like, if you go to Mastermind, for example, you get, like, Master of Intrigue, so you're, like, disguising, forgery, gambling. Like, think of, like, your Sherlock Holmes types. That falls into rogue as well. You can spend every spell slot at the beginning of the day. Yeah, I agree. Magic weapon, spiritual weapon. All of that sort of thing. Freedom of movement. But the problem is if we're leaning more into the getting this, which I feel like is quite important. And again, I feel like a kind of blind rage, paragon of justice kind of thing, like literally a blinded rage, like we're using blinding strategies as a barbarian. I think it works. Yeah, that's a good point, Benjathan. Making the Paladin of Tyr in quotations drop his weapon, yeah. But again, getting the Thief subclass would be a bit unlawful, like it would be a bit of metagaming. But like, I've never done that before. But I do see what you're getting at. I mean, we don't need the second bonus action. We might think that we want other stuff from different places more. I don't know. This is the problem, right? It should be criminal to think that all rogues are criminal. I guess so, but when you literally have the subclass the Thief, it does make a bit more sense. That is a fair enough point. 2 War Cleric, 10 Berserker Barbarian for intimidating presence. Yeah, I've never gone that high in a Barbarian build. Ever, I don't think. I could also see going for an 11-1 split, though, for Relentless Rage. If you drop to 0 hit points while enraged, you regain 1 hit point instead of being downed. Make the character an orc as well, although that's a bit stereotypical. Brutal Critical. When you land a critical hit, you roll extra damage die as well as the normal additional critical die. Cool. Feral Instinct. You gain a +3 to initiative and can't be surprised. Mindless Rage would make us immune to charm, frighten, and calm emotions. We'd be very fast. We'd get the bonus action stuff. I mean, perhaps I'm just misreading Tyr. I mean, again, we're not... my only problem with this is we're not getting into, like, the more humble side of things. We're just going for, oh, big Viking Rage type thing. And I feel like... But then again, you look at this picture of Tyr. This is basically, like, the kind of, like barbarian armors that we have in the game. Like, he's got unarmored defense. So again, perhaps it does make sense. I don't know. 4 Cleric, 2 Cleric, doesn't matter too much, whatever vibes best. Maybe. I don't know. Because I feel like, again, he's like a god of justice, so just going for, like, blind rage also doesn't quite feel right, but... And he's mainly worshipped by, like, paladins and such. It's hard to say. I've not played the God of War DLC yet, actually. I've played God of War Ragnarok, but I've not gotten around to the DLC. I need to, but I haven't got around to it yet. I need to. I need to, for sure. If only we had Order Domain. Yeah, that would be an interesting one to use. So we know we want at least one level of War Domain, because we want the dialogue, we can get a bunch of decent stuff from it. We know at least we want one level of that. So I'm going to put that in the document as a definite War Cleric 1. But then, from what there is where it gets a bit muddied. Remember, the anger of a good man is the one to shake the heavens. That's the kind of shit they put on shirts that are sold in, like, rural America. It's like those shirts with like, Vegeta on them that say, like, there's no... hell have no fury, like, when a good man breaks or some shit. I do think you think the rogue levels are important. Right, I can see what you mean. What about Monk? What about Monk? I mean, have you seen Wolverine and Trevor from GTA? Saying Trevor is a good man is stretching it a bit, don't you think? Just a tad. Both of them are Canadian. I didn't see the second part. I didn't see the second part of that. Oh my god. It's a bit more limiting because of Monk using key. I can see what you mean. And yeah, I don't know what we would get out of Monk that we specifically want for this build. Because again, if we're going to be using a Greatsword, because we're literally using the Greatsword of Justice, tier sword, it's not a Monk weapon, because it's two-handed. Third level of Rogue is gravy, but not needed. Yeah, I see what you mean. I'm just trying to decide, again, because going over tiers, abilities, where his powers, is like, he can see invisible objects, so in fact, I'll put this in before I forget. We want, the Volo's Eye buff. We also want yeah, and I think the Rogue levels also make sense because we want the Insight proficiency. And Rogue would give us disengaging, and it would give us the Insight expertise as well. I think so. We kind of want that too. 8 Barb, 2 Cleric, 2 Rogue, maybe. Why does YouTube keep bopping Zim? I don't think so. I think Zim is typing and then deleting his own messages, but I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But like, if you try, okay, so what might be happening is if Zim is trying to post links, YouTube automatically bops that. Posting links is a no bueno, because it's usually how scam bots operate. Like, if you ever post a link in my comment section, it goes to the held for review, and I have to manually make it public. Paladin would be very in theme. I agree. But most of my Deity builds are Paladins. In fact, I think we've made 2 today that use Paladin. Yeah, Paladin there, Paladin there. So I kind of want to go for something different. Fat finger, small keys. Fair enough. Yeah, Paladin would be on theme. But we kind of get that little bit of Paladin flavoring with the tier sword anyway. That link worked fine. Which link? That's a link that I posted? That's different. Oh, I just clicked it just to check. Yeah, if it's me that does it, then they don't check it, because obviously it's my channel. But if someone else does it, then they get cross. That's a good point, Mitchell. If you're playing as a rogue who has seen the error of their ways. Just realized I can't hear this YouTube tab anymore. Oh, there we go. Yeah, if you're playing maybe you were a thief at one point, but then you, saw, justice or something. That could work. But again, I don't know if we necessarily need the second bonus action. It's nice to have. But I don't think it's necessary to go for that third level. I do think we want 2 levels of Rogue at least. But we just have to decide. I kind of like the Barbarian levels, actually. I know it seems a bit strange. But I do like them. And I kind of like getting to level 10 of Berserker, because it gives us intimidating presence. Just because it kind of feels fun. And it's something I've never really grabbed before in a build. But we need the 2 levels of Rogue, so that doesn't work either. So maybe we just go for an 8-2-2. And getting level 2 on War Domain. Or then you could go for an 8-3-2. Actually, yeah, the Reformed Criminal thing could be good, actually. I agree with that. Maybe we could go with that, actually. And get that done that way. Yeah, you know, I can see that. I can see that. So yeah, Barbarian 8, Rogue 3 for Thief, and then 1 for War Domain. And just make full use of the extra bonus actions and go for the blind fighting style with the cloak. Yeah. Yeah, I see it. I see it. I see the vision. A reformed criminal turned warrior of justice. Yeah, I could see it. No sneak attack, but that's okay. Yeah, we don't need sneak attack. That's not really what this playstyle is about. But if you wanted to go for sneak attack stuff, you could just use a finesse weapon. I mean, you're not bound to it if you decide to make this build a slightly different way. It's just a framework. Yeah, you know what? I'm happy with that. I'm happy with War Cleric wrong, War Cleric wrong. War Cleric 1. Thief Rogue 3. Berserker. Barbarian 8. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that overall. Chosen of tier uses sneak attack. Also, do we need 2 cleric levels? No. I'm dropping that down to 1. War Cleric 1, Thief Rogue 3, Berserker Barbarian 8. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Overall, we've got the weapon, that being the Sword of Justice. Get it right away, perfect for tier. Buff it up to a level 2 with the Drake for a Glaive if you want. And then yeah, unless there's, I don't think there's any other specific pieces of equipment that are related to tier. Oh, there's the Hammer of the Just, which would also be a good build, a good weapon. Here we go. Let's actually have a look at this. Tyr is often known as the main god, a descriptor he shares with most victims of this heavy warhammer. Does an extra bit of radiant damage, lets you cast Detect Thoughts. Oh, how did I not see this? Does extra damage against fiends and undead, but you have to steal it. Which leads to the rogue levels being lore-friendly. Okay. Shit, that works. That actually works. For this, like, reformed criminal character. Yeah, actually, we found it. We found the character from this. We go the Sword of Justice, then the Hammer of the Just. That's how we make this build work. Okay. Liking this. A fake tier paladin actually turned into an actual one? Yeah. Seems unnecessary, but a single monk level would allow the hammer to be finesse, I think. Yeah, we could, I mean, you could make this dex-based, but I don't know how necessary that is. I mean, we're not too hard up for, skill points here, because we're mostly barbarian. So we only need, what do you call it? We only need, like, strength, dex, and con, basically. We don't really need anything else. I love it when everything comes together. Yeah, exactly. I think that actually worked out pretty damn nicely for us. And the best part about Paladin, not Paladin, Barbarian, is we also get, like, clothing options, which can help, like, buff up stats that we want. Because we could get the Enraging Heart Garb if we want more Constitution. We can get the Mighty Cloth or the Graceful Cloth if we want more Strength or Dex, respectively. Like, everything's there. The Bone Spike Garb, like, it unlocks a lot for us. Yeah, so I think that all works. I think we've got it. I think we've got the build there for sure. And yeah, I mean, I think that's it. I don't think there's much else to cover there. I think we get everything that we wanted from tier and such. Yeah. I'm always inclined to take advantage of sneak attack when given access to reckless attack. That's the optimizer in me. Well, yeah, that makes sense, but unfortunately, neither of the weapons we're really going to be using with this build are finesse weapons. Even if we get the dexterity change from monk, it doesn't change the weapon actually into a finesse weapon. It just lets you use your dex. So sneak attack would not work with the warhammer, unfortunately. In Proto-Indo-European mythos, the first king was the twin to the first man, whose souls lived within the underworld and is possessed by the kings and their rightful heirs. You can still even see this with the King of England currently. They had claims of heraldry going into Woden, Odin, much like Swedish and Danish kings too in history. Interesting. Make your foes cry tears. Hey, Jeremy, hi. Yeah. I think everything we've got here works. I think. I don't see a reason to dwell on this too much longer, so yeah. That is the rest of the selectable deities in-game now done. Meaning that the next time we do a deity build stream, which will be in a few weeks or so, we'll be covering the non-selectable deities, which I'll quickly go over. Very, very quickly. Why did I not go to the EG3 wiki? I literally had a link there that I could have clicked. Sorry to disappear, had to take a phone call. Never, again, don't apologize. People live lives. I just woke up, sad I missed this. Yeah, it's fine, don't worry about it. We have 18 minutes left, but yeah, the rest of the deities left to do are the non-selectable ones now. Which means Bane, Bull, Cyric, Gond, Jurgle, Loviatar we've already covered. There's Merkel, so basically the dead 3, Cyric. Shah I've technically done, but maybe we can explore it in further detail. I've technically already done that though, with the Shadowheart build, and I'd honestly just be happy to say that that is the deity build. Sylvanas, maybe that could be a Halcyon build. Umberlee we've already done. So yeah, Shah, maybe. Sylvanas, definitely. Merkel, Loviatar done. Jurgle, Gond, Cyric, Bol, and Bane. So we've got a few more. The bad guys are Gond. Yeah. Walking into the club of like the meeting room for deity builds that haven't been covered yet, and it's just Gond sitting awkwardly in the middle of all these like hyper evil dudes. Chanteau is one, I think. They're not on this list. If they have a connection in game, then maybe, but I don't know. Have you thought of a deity build for the Absolute itself? I've been suggested that a couple of times, and I am going to do one, and it's going to be like the way to like end the series. So once we've done all of the non-selectable deities on this list, then we're going to do a build of the Chosen of the Absolute as like kind of like a way to wrap up the whole series. Just finish it off in one final go. That's the plan. So yeah, that's it. We're approaching the end of the longest running series on the channel. Great or one Warlock? Maybe. We'll have to see. The cool thing about being able to do the non-selectable deities, though, is that we're not bound to Cleric anymore. So we'll have a bit more freedom. That's pretty poetic? Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Just a way to kind of finish it all. But yeah, I know there's like about 15 minutes left of the normal stream time, but I do have other stuff I want to get done today, so I'm quite happy to call it here, so that I can get some other stuff that I need to get done today done, because I've got a few things that I need to do. I've got to get some stuff ready. But yeah, I think I'm going to end the stream here. I think that was a very good stream. I think we got a lot done. So yeah, don't forget the Markiplier builds. I will make that at some point. I'm going to have to do some research, which means I will be binging Markiplier videos, because that's quite fun. Looks like a comfort food for me. Wait, hold on. I know what it needs to be. Hold on. It's going to be a monk build. It'll be a monk build. There once was a cleric of Gond who was cursed with a very small... I need to actually look at chat before I start reading things out loud. Right. I am going to call it here, though, guys, for real. I know it's a slightly quicker end. This was a slightly shorter stream overall, again, with a slightly later start because of the video. Again, I please implore you to watch the video in the pinned comment, please. I want as many views on that as I can get, because I deliberately did not push it to subscribers to see if the algorithm would actually like it more, so please. I put a lot of effort into that, so if you want to watch it, I would really, really appreciate that. But anyways, thank you for the stream, everyone. I am going to be logging out now. Don't forget to look at the memes, by the way. I will. I'll head over to the Discord immediately. Right, thank you for everything today, guys. I had a seriously fun day. Thanks for streaming as always. Yeah, no, thank you for joining, everyone. It was a good time. I love doing these. Next week, I mean, we're still organizing that whole Chaos stream. I don't know if it'll be next week. We'll have to see if there's a good time to get testing done for that, so I might just do something a bit more casual. I'd really like to return to the Elden Ring streams, because I was really enjoying doing that last time, so maybe we'll do the part 2 of the Elden Ring streams next week. But yeah, I will see you all next time. Thank you all for being here. Goodbye.